Welcome back, everybody, to our third and final game of the evening, a Mythic boss battle. We have four heroes here who have climbed their way through the ranks of Bartholomew's adventuring troop and passed through their fabled tier battles and have continued to fight and to gain experience here on the lands of DnDTime and are on the verge of being moved up to the Myth tier, one of the highest tiers of DnDTime play. And so, as we come into our adventure, my first question is for you, Elysia. Elysia, what were you doing when Bartholomew gave you the call?
Oh, I was actually working out here. I got a contract to help, what's the thing when you, like, sponsor a thing and your face is, like, on the advertisements they do? They wanted me to, like, crack open a bottle of water, drink it, and say that this was some of the best water out in the frontier.
Um, this, you are you're a spokesperson now for this particular frontier water.
That's it.
And so, were you out on site within the frontier region at this time?
Indeed.
Um, all right. So as you're out there, kind of like doing your advertising and making your kind of like your pitches, posing for paintings, I imagine, trigonometric still images that they take. Bartholomew suddenly speaks to you in your mind. Elysia, Elysia.
Yeah, Bartholomew?
Yes, I'm sorry to bother you. I know you're busy at work, but there's been something of an emergency over in the town of Green Meadows in the frontier. I know you're fairly close by. Um, we need your help. Dangerous individual by the name of Señor Saguaro has gotten loose. Um, well, it's dire straits over there. I fear for the frontier on the whole, if he's allowed to have his way.
Gotcha. I'll be over there in just a blink.
Good. Actually, there's no time. I'm just going to. And you hear the sound of a snapping finger from wherever he is. As we move next on to Zewxip. Zewxip, what were you doing before Bartholomew gave you the call?
I, and I say that very proudly now, I, singular, I, Zewxip, am out on a ship, sailing the seas, and in the warmer, more southern climate, as it's been getting a little frosty up north.
And as the waves are kind of cresting out over the ocean, is there anything in particularly you're searching for or doing out on the ocean this day, or just en route to somewhere, just a trip for the destination?
I'm returning to my lover in port waiting for me,
Hmm.
as I believe that I am on the cusp of earning more of his gracious gifts that he's given this poor Zewxip.
And suddenly, as you're kind of upon the seas now, Bartholomew, you hear his familiar voice now in your mind. Zewxip, can you hear me, Zewxip?
Yes, I can. Oh, it's beautiful out here, Bartholomew.
Well, it is beautiful where you are. I can see I've been scrying, and I know that you're on to a more pleasant destination, but I have something I must ask of you. I need you on the frontier right now. There is a threat there, the likes of which, well, the frontier may never see again. And we need all the help we can get.
Oh, what is it, that large bird again that Tessix was telling me about? The vulture?
No, not the old Blackwing. A cactus. A cactus folk by the name of Señor Saguaro. He is a plague upon the West.
Oh, another Florin, I suppose. Well, you've chosen wisely. I'll do my best to convince him to calm down.
Your skills will be well needed. I'm going to send you there now. Are you ready?
One more, and I'll kind of give a shudder in the sun. All right, go ahead.
And as you hear the snap of Bartholomew's fingers, and then suddenly the cool, arid air of the desert, we move over next to Jenny. Jenny, what are you doing at this time?
So, if this was a movie, we'd get like a close-up shot of like a scrawny arm with those pink fuzzy sweatbands around the wrists, lifting weights they're marked with a 1 and a 0 side. And as we pan out, we see Jenny in like a spandex 80s workout video jumpsuit with those like really atrocious bright yellow like plastic belts and stuff like that.
And the song like Everybody's Working for the Weekend is playing in the background.
I think that it's actually 9 to 5 by
I mean, that's also very good.
yeah.
And as you're there kind of working, Bartholomew kind of speaks, Jenny,
In
I'm
the
sorry to interrupt.
Background we see Kurragane.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Here at the gym, the lightest weights that one could find at Kurragane's.
Yep.
As Bartholomew speaks to you. Jenny, come in. Jenny.
I'm sorry, Bartholomew. Just let me finish these reps. And you see the muscles straining. 3. Drops the weight. Yeah. Bartholomew, what is it?
Don't tie yourself up too much, Jenny. Your heroism is needed now more than ever. There is a town in need of protection.
Right, of course.
The frontier, I'm sending you now. You actually, well, it's going to be pretty hot, but you're going to need to gear up. The individual there is, well, perhaps tougher than anyone you've ever faced.
All right, I'm ready.
And as you kind of prepare yourself, I imagine you collect your things for a moment, and a snap of the finger, and you are transported away.
And we see Jenny holding her head going, I forgot to wipe down the bench!
A very muscle-bound dragonborn shakes his fist angrily at you as you disappear from Kurragane's. And we move over to Sotaria. Sotaria, what are you doing as you get the call from Bartholomew?
I'm in my new hideout. I finally got it to be a nice home away from home, exactly how I wanted it, and now I'm trying to organize all this dang crap I've accumulated. And kind of wondering, why in the world did I manage to get a hold of a golden phallus?
Bartholomew kind of speaks out to you right as you're looking over this golden dwarf penis, which have recurred so many times here in the land of DnDTime. You hear the voice of Bartholomew. Sotaria?
If I pretend not to hear you, we go away?
No, I won't. But I need, well, the land of DnDTime needs your help.
How much are you paying me?
And he kind of thinks for a while, and he goes, I can do 100 Bartholomew bucks.
You cheap!
I meant 1,200 Bartholomew bucks.
Fine. Deal.
And with a snap of the fingers, you also suddenly, as soon as you say fine, you find yourself suddenly transported and standing within the town of Green Meadows. Looking around you, a single straightaway lines a dusty dirt road upon which old kind of ramshackled buildings, the finest in the frontier, but still not in the best of shapes, are all kind of aligning the path. And you can see a number of individuals that are sitting kind of out on steps, and here in the streets, the people here look distraught. And Sotaria, as you look around, you also see to your side 3 compatriots appear. Zewxip, Jenny, and Elysia. All 4 of you now stand in the space, and the town of Green Meadows is ahead. You've been told to seek out this individual, which some of you were informed was Señor Saguaro. And what would you all like to do as you come into the town of Green Meadows?
Oh, well, the sun's the same, but it's very dry. If you'll pardon me, I need to go find some water somewhere.
Funny you should mention that, because do I have the water for you?
You take out a well kind of put together bottle of water. You see it has Elysia's face on the side of the label, on this bottled water, as they hand it over to you, Zewxip.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna take it and start pouring it on my feet. Here, in fair exchange, I'm going to I'm gonna reach into the helpful handbasket and hand Sotaria, Elysia, and Jenny a fun little biscuit that'll give them max more 5 each.
All right. Do you all eat your biscuits and gain 5 additional max hit points as per the aid spell, so you can increase your hit points by 5 for the battle. As you hand out these tasty moments.
Why, thank you.
And as you're kind of having this exchange on the outskirts of town, you see a well-to-do dressed individual, kind of a bowler hat, a little rotund, begins walking out towards you. Good afternoon, all of you. You come to the town of Green Meadows at a somber day. It seems that these are the town's final moments. A few of our citizens were just taking the opportunity to say goodbye. You must be the ones Bartholomew has sent to perform the exchange.
Why do you say final? It still looks like everything is okay enough.
And the this individual kind of reaches into their coat pocket and pulls out a scrolled piece of paper that's tied up and sealed very officially with a big wax seal, and hands it off to you, Zewxip.
Let's see here. I'll unfurl it as I'm wiggling my viney toes into the watery mouth.
And as you're looking it over, it appears to be the deed to the town of Green Meadows, which you're currently in. And this individual speaks up. Señor Saguaro and his gang have landed. Well, they have taken our deputy, and they're ransoming him back with the deed to the town. We asked you to make the exchange, but we won't be living in a town owned by Señor Saguaro.
Well, I have an idea. You can always make us deputies, and we can always go save them.
Well, that is our hope, but if he has him hostage, he is not to be trifled with. He won't allow the deputy to be saved without the deed in hand. So I see no way to save our pure deputy's life other than through handing things over.
You just let us handle that. Takes the deed. Yeah, let me keep a hold of that.
Zewxip hand it over.
Yep.
Cool. Sotaria, you grab the deed and please be careful. Don't gamble with the life of our dear deputy.
Oh, no. I would never dream of gambling with another person's life.
Make a deception check. Is this true? You can choose me persuasion or deception. Yeah, that's what I thought. And the individual before you seems nervously says, "If you say so, I'm putting this task into your hands, but for now," and he kind of looks over, "the people of Green Meadows will be abandoning this place. We expect it to be Señor Saguaro's by dusk, because as his words were clear, if this deed is not delivered to him by sundown, then the deputy will hang."
Where is this Señor Saguaro?
He said that he would be waiting for our arrival and the deed at Green Meadow Gulch. And he kind of points forward, and you can see in the distance where the trail kind of leads and stretches down into a valley. Up upon the high right ridge of the gulch, he'll be waiting for you.
Light cascades off of Jenny's gold and silver armor and her shield, the unicorn emblazoned upon it, as she begins striding toward.
And you begin to step out and walk now across the desert. It is getting on further in the day, and from what you kind of gather from the individual there, it's not a short walk by any means, but he expects you to get there before the sun is, completely dark. And you kind of make your way over yonder. Do any of you have anything else you want to do in the town? Very well.
Is there any, hold on, beforehand, just quick question. Is there any way, do I have enough time to make a forgery of this document?
You could, you don't have enough time to make like an accurate forgery of the deed. You probably have enough time to take a piece of paper and get a wax seal on it.
That's enough. That's good enough.
All right.
I'd like to go to the general store, and if they have some seed stock, I'd like to buy a bag of seeds.
The people in town seem to be like abandoning a lot of their things here. People are just like packing their bags and getting ready to move out. As you go to the general store, there's not a lot for seed stock because there's not a lot of agriculture out here. But it doesn't seem something that's important to them. They're just leaving it behind anyway. So they say take as much as you want. They have a couple of bags here.
Oh, is there like a wagon and some donkeys as well?
Most of those are people are using to kind of, in the same way, pack up and leave. Yeah. But they're able to spare like, there's like an ox and a cart that people are able to kind of spare. Pretty slow moving, but can carry a few things with you.
Okay, and so we can take that out to the gulch?
Yeah, you would be able to ride that along the kind of the higher ground if you wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll get the ox and the cart. I'll get a couple bags of I guess some general goods. I wouldn't mind some seeds. And
yeah, you can put together, like I said, a couple of what kind of like seeds are you looking for? Just like grain or?
Yeah, just anything that might grow out here is fine.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's a pretty barren region, so there's not a lot of stock for that. There's like some wild grains and things that people were more like grinding into millet than anything, but it's the closest you could get to what you're looking for.
Okay, I don't suppose there's any little like cactus seedlings, are there?
Yeah, well, you can find some like saplings as you're just moving along the desert if you'd like some small cactuses and things like that.
Okay, I'm also going to plant a part of myself out here too.
Yes.
As per usual.
Very good. Not the ideal place for a Zewxip to flourish, but you find a nice spot that's not in the complete direct dry sunlight, close to the well where you think there might be a little bit more water, and you plant yourself a Zewxip.
Oh, and 2 barrels of water too, if that's possible.
The town is actually currently pretty dry on water. Apparently, some of the water shipment got interrupted on the way here recently, and they go through it pretty quick out here. The well is not, super well producing. So.
Okay. A bucket of water?
Yeah, you can pull off a bucket for sure.
Cool. All right.
Great. And you load up your cart with your kind of supplies here as you begin making your way across the desert. And is anyone else riding on the? I assume you're riding on the cart.
Yep.
Sotaria, Zewxip, Elysia, and you are. Are you just striding, Jenny, or do you also hop on the cart?
If they catch up to me, then yeah, I'll hop on the cart.
Eventually, you're moving at about knees and pace. You guys can see Jenny kind of, scouting the way into the distance, and blazing a little bit of a trail ahead of you. But as you're kind of moving along, you kind of notice. Make a perception check, Jenny, as you're kind of scouting out ahead here.
Sure. Perception.
6. Okay, yeah. Some of the paths here that you're noticing, you're not finding a lot in the ways of good footpaths. You're more kind of staying on the cart path, and you're kind of like guiding them and telling them where to go. And as you guys, I think eventually the cart does catch up to you. Is there anything you guys want to discuss as you're coming up to this location?
I was thinking, that town looked pretty nice. I don't like bullies unless I'm doing the bullying. So, double cross and see can we get him preoccupied while we get the deputy?
What do we know about this character? He's certainly afeared. Though, do we know his thoughts, his tactics? He seems to want ownership of this land. For what purpose?
Maybe he just wants a town where he can bully people. That seems to be what he's doing already.
So that's our bargaining chip if we want to go in and try and defuse the situation, is to promise him bully target?
No, he's gonna get he's gonna get what he wants. Is guess I'm gonna play decoy. You guys see about finding the deputy and freeing him.
What are his abilities, do you know? He sounds like perhaps a Florin like myself. I have some imagination, but there's so many different kinds of them.
Well, you want to play decoy? Doesn't matter to me.
Perhaps I might be able to do a good enough job of that.
Fine then. You play decoy. I play sneaky girl.
I think that will work well. It might be just a cultural resonance. And besides, I look very nice for I believe the locals call them painted ladies.
She hands him the fake scroll deed looking scroll.
Thank you. I'll make sure to take good care of this.
Anything else you guys wish to discuss as you're kind of moving your way along this path? Or are you guys kind of set on that strategy, it looks like?
So how are we gonna find the deputy? Do you think he's just gonna bring him with him?
He should if he wants. Supposedly it's supposed to be a trade-off, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, from what the itinerary said. Presumably he has the deputy there to exchange for the deed.
What if he tries to be sneaky about it, though, and is just like, oh, the deputy's over there, and just tells us, and we have to go get him, but only after he...
You guys keep him preoccupied while I be a rogue. I'll go find the deputy, free him, and then we can all get the heck out of Dodge.
Oh, like a filibuster. Just keep him talking long enough for you to save the deputy.
Yep.
And you who are scouting ahead, Jenny, who are kind of like, you're still a little bit, you duck back every once in a while and kind of confer and let people know what you're seeing as you're moving ahead. But you're currently out a little bit farther than everyone else. When over to your right, you look out the gorge, the gulch rather. Green Meadow Gulch is kind of a big ravine that seems to cut through this part of the desert. There's some scraggly bushes, a lot of more natural cacti around this area, and it kind of leans down. At some point there must have been, a river must have flown through here, but you don't know how long ago that must have been because it's dead dry. And you guys are walking along the right ridge line, and over on the opposite side, as you're kind of glancing off in the distance, you see kind of now flanking you on the other side of the ravine, you watch as what appears to be a humanoid cactus on horseback begins to kind of ride by, a very thick saddle so as not to, kill the horse just by being upon it. And they begin just riding up alongside you on the left, watching you, keeping them, a steady distance divided by the ravine, but now watching you as you make your approach. And then you look over to the other side. Another one kind of begins flanking you far off in the distance to the right. Again, just watching and guiding as you begin to kind of follow this path forward. Those of you on the cart see them. Those of you on the cart see them not too long after.
Elysia will wave to the first one she sees to see if they wave back.
They just they're far, giving you a wide berth, maybe 100, 200 feet keeping an eye on you, but nothing really more. You think, well, it moves almost like a chuckle, but doesn't give you a wave or anything remotely friendly.
They sure are a prickly bunch.
Can I hide within all the stuff that's inside the cart?
Absolutely, if you'd like. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check. Kind of just, oh, this is a very smart move. I like this, Sotaria. So you go
Can
in.
I give her the help action by sitting on her like she's part of the luggage area?
Absolutely. I was going to say that you have enough time that you just have advantage anyway. But I like it better that way. It's funnier.
I'd like to gussy up and kind of, puff my pedals up a little bit, kind of get, fancy. There's a term that, we Florins use, succulent. I would like to make myself look rather succulent to attract the eye, hopefully.
Okay, so you're trying to be disarmingly attractive to these cactus people.
Yes.
Okay.
I love it.
Jenny
Very good,
is
yeah.
going to notice them, look at them plainly, and then continue doing what they were doing. Almost as if they don't bother
Right
her.
ahead. Yeah. Obviously, they're meant to intimidate to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jenny, you blaze a path ahead. Back in the cart, Sotaria, you've ducked maybe partially under a sack of flour. What maybe would seem like a very full sack was never very full to begin with. You just kind of placed it over yourself, ready with your bow in hand, I presume?
Yep.
And as you approach, you see ahead of you a group of humanoid creatures. Their green skin is wrinkled like leather, and oddly shaped protrusions emerge from their bodies in odd places. A bunch growing out of a head, or a back, or arms, or even legs. These humanoid cactuses stand maybe 10 feet from the ledge of Green Meadow Gulch, along the high right ridge. There are not a lot of landmarks in the area, save for an old, dried-out tree. A wash basin placed by its base stands as a makeshift gallows. The deputy of Green Meadows, bound and blindfolded, stands tiptoed upon the wash basin, a length of rope affixing his neck to the old tree limb above. You see a small cactus man, head mostly flat, covered in spines. He grins devilishly at you, a leg raised, leaning on the overturned bucket, ready to give it at any moment. Letting the
Be careful now. Careful.
A dozen or so more of these anthropomorphic cactuses stand around. Some chuckle mockingly as you approach. They seem ready for some sort of row. Excited. And their leader, a towering, bulky cactus, wearing a large 10, maybe 20-gallon hat. He bears a menacing smirk and addresses you as you approach. And I was thinking we were gonna have ourselves a hanging, boys. But I don't suppose these good folks brought me my tea.
At that, Jenny is going to use prestidigitation to pull out the deed. Using the feature, you create a non-magical trinket or an illusory image that fit in your hand that lasts until the end of your next turn.
So you got 6 seconds to try and dupe this
Yeah,
guy and get the
so-
deputy down.
so what I'm going to
made a
do-
fake deed, if you want to run with that.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out. Sotaria is hiding in the bag, though. Sotaria
Yeah,
has
I
the
handed
real
it
bead
off.
and the fake.
Yeah, but I already handed it off.
No, she handed off the fake one to you.
To me?
Well, to your group. You guys have been, I assume, talking and been going.
Okay.
But
I'm
whichever you
still
prefer.
going to prestidigitation a fake one.
Uh-huh.
but I'm going to take it out, unroll it, roll it back up, and stick it in my pocket and say, "We have it right here. Now you let him go. We'll walk over and give it to you."
Well, boys, that's not how we do business. Ain't nobody ever said I ain't a man of my word. Longhorn, go get me that deed.
And you watch as from among them, "Sure thing, boss." One of them kind of walks over and begins kind of hops down off their horse, and walks over and towards you, Jenny. They begin stepping with kind of slightly nervous strides. It's a tense situation, but they walk up to you, and they extend their hand towards you.
How many of
Believe-
them are there?
Just over a dozen. 13, including the Saguaro.
"I believe you have our town." And they hold out their hand.
My town.
"Sorry, boss, your town."
Where's the notary?
You want the notary?
And
Well, you can't exchange a deed without a notary.
All while this is going on, can I sneak out the thing and try and get behind him?
That's gonna be real tough. I mean, there are a couple of small.
I'm trying to keep him busy by talking to him. I'm trying to distract him. So
There are a couple of low-cut shrubs in the area, but not a lot. It's very arid here. God, Pete, is it even possible? Do you think? Because I think
As
Sotaria gets
Sotaria-
it because of you.
you would need a more like concrete distraction, and then it would still be at disadvantage because this is desert.
Okay. Alright, never mind then. I'm staying covered. I'm staying covered.
What were you saying?
Staying covered.
Oh, I was wondering if a spell might be able to change that up a bit.
What's the spell?
Just a little something Elysia got with her latest focus.
Oh, I think with like the magical prowess of Pass That Trace, I think it might be like possible.
Yeah,
What do you think,
possible.
Pete?
I think possible with that.
Yeah, I mean
Still
it's a
uneasy,
high
but-
DC, but
Yeah.
with a +10, you can definitely do it. Would you like to try it, Sotaria, or do you want to stay well hidden within the wagon for now?
I'm trying it. Cause I want to get behind just in case he does do a double cross. So
Yeah, so you're gonna try and sneak over to the tree.
yeah.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check. So 32 with the +10 from Pass That Trace. Elysia, so what does it look like as you kind of, I imagine you cast this spell before, so the shadows of the cart just kind of like cling and form up around the base underneath. The old donkey kind of bang as it's clearly stressed out about the situation too. Can sense the violence or the hostility that could easily break out here. And it kind of kicks up a little bit of dust, and the shadows almost leap like little animated specters up into it as Sotaria, you duck past the cloud into some of the shrubs nearby. You begin to make your way over toward the tree very quietly. However, someone needs to buy you some more time.
And while you're discussing notaries, Jenny, that one that is kind of flat and over by the deputy who's kind of strung up by the T, just barely holding onto this box on their tippy toes, kind of calls out, "That's what you wanna do? Seems like they're taking a long time over there. Should I just let them drop?" And he kind of starts playing with the box a little bit.
Oh, prickly, keep your feet happy. Not quite yet.
All right, boss. I'm itching though.
I turn
With
to
an
the
accent
cactus
of
boy.
Sylvan. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I turn to the cactus boy, Longhorn. I think his name.
Longhorn.
You got a drink there, boss?
No. chuckles.
Jenny's
you see a
gonna
couple of the
reach
other ones
into-
around there kind of laugh at the idea of having like water or anything.
Jenny's gonna reach into her opponent pouch and take out a flask of whiskey, and is going to take a sip and use that shot of whiskey as material component for its life.
Ah, I getcha. You feel the vigor of the whiskey flow through your veins as you're
Pretty
like,
cool.
Saguaro.
False life, material component,
the
small
ground.
amount of.
Look, I'm getting mighty bored. I want that deed and I want it now. So
Jenny.
fork it over.
I look over.
Jen, you shouldn't be drinking alcohol. Hydration's really important out here, and I'll kind of shuffle over and kind of edge in with the tension here and present a bottle, both to keep Jenny hydrated and to see if water actually gets some kind of rise out of them.
Yeah, you see Saguaro at least, like, grimace, like, ugh.
Nasty good stuff.
The flat one once again kind of calls out, "Seems like they're stalling. Come on, boss. Let me do it."
You see Saguaro kind of push past a couple of the cactuses, and he is massive. He's a solid 14 feet at least. He's a tower. And he's fairly broad and bulky for a cactus, too. He's got a big old growth coming off the side of his head.
Look here. You're gonna hand me that deed now.
And he holds out his hand toward you.
Yeah, I'll start walking up to him, and I'll pull out the deed from the other pocket.
Gotcha. So you're pulling it out of a different pocket here.
Yeah,
Is it are you prestidigitating a deed, or are you taking out
Yeah, what's the
the
move here?
falsified document.
the real fake deed?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're gonna hand it over. So Taria, you've moved on. You're right about over to the tree now. You can hear the breath of prickly something.
Prepare.
You haven't heard his full name yet, but he's just kind of he's very excited. And his foot's leaning up against the wash basin, and you hear the like kind of stifled, uncomfortable gasps, I guess, of the deputy, who's very, very afraid. Would you like to make any sudden movements, or are you going to keep trying to get into a position to maybe like cut the rope or something?
I want to try and cut the rope. I want to use my longbow as a last resort, so I still want to try and sneak over so I can cut the rope.
Okay, so you're still trying to sneak just a little closer?
Yeah.
Saguaro walks right up to you, Jenny, and reaches out for the document.
I
Like,
drop
"Oh,
it
You drop it?
on the ground.
All right, Saguaro.
Let him drop.
And as he says that, Prickly Pear, who has been holding his action this whole time, just kicks the bucket over to the side, and the deputy now does not fall too long. He was already at the kind of the end of the rope, but you watch as the deputy begins to struggle and suffocate under the rope's grasp in this moment.
Yeah, as the deputy kind of begins to fall here, it's like an instant that lasts an eternity. What do each of you do?
Longbow.
Because you've all been right there. I think you've all got one action to take. What would you like
Longbow.
to be? All right, Sotaria.
How far away is Sotaria?
Sotaria's about 10, like she's right on the other side of the tree. She's right there. If she wanted, her action could be to try and leap up and grab at the rope.
Okay, in that case, I want to grab. In that case, I want to grab the rope.
First, we need to roll initiative just to see the order of things.
Okay.
All right.
Sotaria,
yeah, I
you can go
think-
first.
You see all of the cactuses like, yeah, like ready to jump into a brawl. All right. We'll start with you, Zewxip. You've been biding your time the entire conversation here. What would you like to do? You're a very beautiful looking flower right now, I'll say.
Yeah, was I getting any looks from either the boss or any of the minions?
Saguaro wasn't paying attention to you at all. Pete, what were the minions doing? Were they like...
Absolutely. Some of the cactuses on the other side, like Longhorn in particular, as he was getting closer to the middle, you kept watching him kind of like look past what was actually going on to you and the cart, Zewxip, and then would like go back to like asking for the deed, but the eyes kept stealing your way.
Oh, you thorny boys! In a Sylvan accent here to give a little mystique. Oh, you thorny boys out there, save me from these duplicitous snakes! And I want to flee from the wagon into the crowd, of cactus boys here, and like I'm hoping they're gonna like, want to step up and protect me and like take me into their ranks.
Are you saying you're invoking your, I'd say feminine wiles, but the Zewxip's plantanin wiles?
I am succulent with 3 C's right now.
Go ahead and make me a performance check, Zewxip.
I'm gonna give you advantage just for that statement.
I think so too. 23. All right, yeah. You watch as you run over. There's a whole bunch of these guys over in here, and as you run across the space, a few of them like, don't worry, man, we'll take care of them, and are all kind of like tipping hats to you, and like one of them is kind of like reaching out to like take your hand, which is a little bit prickly. It's not the most pleasant hand to take, but they're all kind of like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna handle this, no problem. And you got like 3 of them right now.
3, okay.
That are distracted right now, just kind of doting on you in this moment.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Right now I'm setting. I want to distract as many as I can and try and keep them away from my friends. So I want to create a scene, like, oh, protect me. Just I'm not really doing any spell casting or anything, but I'm really hamming it up. I'm. Oh, you're so prickly. Oh, I'm gonna like flick one of their needles and.
Oh, whoa.
As they kind of like are all like puffing themselves out a little bit, and one of them's like, yeah, I pride myself on the prickles. Make sure to trim them every day. And they're trying their best to show off. As that's going to bring us to who next, Johnny?
Yeah, that'll bring us to Elysia. Elysia, you can see that Zewxip is playing the game. Saguaro seems pissed right now that Jenny dare throw or drop the deed rather than hand it to him. What would you like to do?
I will do my best maiden gag, and I will point at, well, I would say at, but more adjacent to prickly pear at Sotaria, and I'll just yell out, he's got a water pistol! As I will twin spell haste on myself and Sotaria, and run back and use my hasted action to try to hide in a nearby clump of brush.
Sure.
Yeah. Definitely go ahead and roll a stealth check. You're trying to like take the hide action, I see.
Are you trying to get cover or just hide? Because it's gonna be really hard to hide in the brush, but especially since you don't have pass without trace anymore. That's gone.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
But if you wanted to just dive under the cart, it's gonna be really hard to hit you.
Sounds good.
I mean, it's whichever. You'd be prone in that one, but you'd have like 3/4 cover. So it's whichever is most interesting.
3/4 cover might help if I... Actually, no, even with my trash AC, that would actually put me at like a normal AC, so I'll go for tucked under.
Cool. You just incredibly quickly scramble under the cart. All right. So we come to Jenny and Sotaria next in the initiative. Jenny, do you go first or does Sotaria go first?
Sotaria.
As the deputy is like falling, the rope is like tightening.
Sotaria has higher dex than me, and I do not want to hinder their turn.
All right, so Sotaria, it's your move. It's like this is all in slow motion, right? It's like the Saguaro's like, nah, like yelling, he's getting pissed, and the cadre's doing their thing, and Zewxip's doing their thing, but the deputy's following. What's your moves?
In that case, am I close enough to? Well, I guess I'm pulling out my short sword and I'm gonna run and try and cut that rope.
Yeah, I mean, you can just swing around with your new hasted speed, and you can try and make a cut at the rope. I think a rope technically does have armor class, right, Pete?
Yes, if I'm remembering correctly, it is an AC 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it has 2 hit points,
Yep.
so
Not super difficult.
Okay, then.
Oh, miss!
What?
Attack! You're just the added speed of the haste. It's just you're not used to it. You swing and miss.
And as you run up, as Prickly Pear's right near there, he just kind of calls out, "Ambush!"
But Sotaria, you do have a hasted action if you'd like to try again.
Offhand.
Oh, right,
Thank
because
you.
you're offhand attack. And well, you
Damage
can't do less
inevitably.
than 2 damage.
Yeah.
As you slice the rope, the deputy falls and continues to fall and falls onto the ground and just he kind of hurts his back on the wash basin.
Oof.
But he's
And
in
actually,
better
he's
shape
probably
than
just knocked
hanging
unconscious.
to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And crap.
So now you have your hasted action if you'd like.
I couldn't pull him behind a tree, could I?
Oh, I think you could. Well, that being said, Prickly Pear would get some attacks on you. I mean, you're right there.
Even if I say disengage and pull him behind a tree?
Didn't
No,
he
'cause
burn
you
his
used to hit
reaction
him
to
to
kick?
grab him.
Okay, alright.
Oh,
And that.
Or at least
Didn't Prickly Pear burn his reaction to kick the bucket and hasn't had his turn come up again?
no, that was last round.
last
This is all
round.
now one round here.
Okay,
Okay.
I tried.
And
I get you. I get what you're saying.
in that case, then, I guess I'm going to keep running.
Okay, so you're gonna
Well, no,
lead
I'm-
the guy.
I am not.
Hasted action hide.
Okay, I'm going to haste the action and get behind the tree.
Okay, you still
Okay.
have to provoke an opportunity attack.
Yeah, unless you're gonna disengage, you're gonna provoke an opportunity attack.
I'm disengaging.
Okay. So the deputy lies on the ground at the feet of Prickly Pear, and we move to Jenny's turn. Jenny, this Saguaro's right in front of you, and he looks like he's mad.
He's like 10 feet away from me, right?
He's about 5 feet from you, realistically.
He's in melee.
Well, let me rephrase. He's 14 foot tall and has 10 feet of reach, and you can tell that he's got 10 feet of reach.
Ah.
It's not like, well, maybe.
How far is our deputy?
Ooh, that's a great question. Deputy's probably about 15 feet past
Past him?
Yeah, so 25 from you.
Alright. While he's looking at me, the unicorn emblazoned on shield slowly melts into the horrifying visage of an undead nightmare as darkness seeps out of the shield and into the surrounding area. And Jenny says, "Sun's getting real."
Excellent. So you cast darkness, which just envelops the area around you.
Using my half-drow show.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'd like to move around our prickly boy
Yeah.
so that I get Sotaria, myself, prickly boy, a bunch of the scouts, cactus dude, prickly pear.
Yep.
And most importantly, deputy. In the
Gotcha.
in
so
the
you'd
darkness.
you'd have to run 15 feet past. Yeah, I don't think you can get all of them in it. Oh no, because it's a 15-foot radius. So yeah, you could barely do that.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And since I have Devil Sight, it does not affect me.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn, Jenny?
Darkness is a spell, so we're gonna bonus action Hexblade's Curse on Senior.
Okay. All right, we move to Saguaro's turn. You hear that voice cut through the darkness.
You think a little darkness ever bothered us?
And he turns and seems to, like, not look at you so much, but face right at you, Jenny. And he makes an attack against you. As he has blind sight.
Of course you would.
Oi, dude, plant
Yeah.
monsters have blind sight.
It's true.
He makes a punch at you. Actually makes 2 punches at you. Punch. Ooh. 13?
Not even.
19.
That is my AC exactly.
Oh. He bam, takes one arm and just punches you in the back. And I mean, you're not expecting that, but it strikes you and it hits you hard. 12 bludgeoning damage, and then the 6 damage from the spine, which pierces into your back. He pulls his hand back.
All right, let's make this fun then. I'll get that deed from your bodies when you're dead.
All right, that's all Saguaro does that turn. That's easy. He's a pushover.
I need to roll a con
Oh.
save.
Concentration check.
9 plus 1, 10.
What's the one from?
That is from the charm that I purchased from Bartholomew's shop. It's your only choice.
It's your only choice. All right, that means Prickly. Your move.
Prickly is going to whip around and look over towards you, Sotaria, and kind of running out of the darkness here and over towards you. Sotaria is in the darkness as well, or not in the darkness?
It seems
yeah,
like they
Sotaria would have
have
been able to be in it.
blind sight, correct?
Sotaria
Let me. What was
doesn't
it?
have that.
Well,
It seems
Yeah.
like they have blind sight.
I mean, you know that now, yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to end concentration
he
on
did.
quickness.
Okay.
Okay.
And the in that case, Prickly Pear kind of is looking over at you, Sotaria, and begins running towards you. They're kind of strange, small, and like flat body, and then they just jump up towards you and you took away my hanging, and they just throw their body at you with all of its prickles. They try to like tackle you. Oh man, it's a 23 to hit.
oh, okay, I'm fine. That hurts, but I'm fine.
And as they prickle onto you, their body is now just stuck to you, as they're not
Oh.
just stuck onto you, and your movement speed is halved while they're sticking to you.
Sotaria is a rogue, right?
Yeah.
Can you uncanny dodge that?
Oh shoot, I forgot. You're right, I can.
And you got a prickly, you got a prickly pear stuck to you right now, which may mean other things later. But for now, you just got a prickly pear that's stabbing into you. It's not pleasant. So you're gonna uncanny dodge.
Yep.
Of that down, you reduce that down to 4 points of damage.
Man, it looked like so much damage before then.
Yeah, it did.
And that's all for Prickly Pear's turn.
Well, Pete, it's still your move. The rest of the cadre has got to go.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, how many of the cadre did you put in, Jeremy?
So there were 12 or 13 total, but 2 of those were Prickly and Saguaro. And then
And
3
three
of them are
being
distracted, so there are 8 that can move.
Okay. In that case, they are all going to kind of like, they start kind of fanning out those that aren't kind of, the 3 that are doting on you currently, Zewxip. One of them is kind of like fanning you with their hands, just kind of moving their hand up and down so they could generate some air. Other ones, don't worry now, man. We're gonna see you right through this one. Why don't you come over here and take a seat down and then take a load off your feet.
Yeah, you want him? No, he's nothing. He's not good for anything. Let me help.
These two jokers don't know what they're talking about. These charlatans will be gone in no time. Let me show you. And they continue to dote on you. And the other ones all kind of fan out and begin getting into more battle-ready positions. A couple of them are going to toss needles. We're going to say 3 of them are going to throw their needles at you, Jenny. It's a 14, 10, and a 22.
Okay, I'm going to use my second trick or treat.
Ooh, what happens on the trick or treat?
When a creature would miss you with an attack, you can use your reaction to spend 1 charge and make a single attack or cast a single spell of your lowest level targeting the creature.
Ooh,
Jenny
okay.
is a warlock. They only have 2 spell slots. Hunger of Hadar.
That doesn't have a target is the problem. It's an AoE.
Yeah, it has to have a
Hunger
single
of
target.
Hadar.
Yeah, it's an area of effect ability.
Centered on a point with range and lasting for the duration, so I couldn't target that dude as the point for Hadar.
You know, that wasn't our original intent. I don't know, Pete. Could he?
It is a once-a-year charge thing, right?
Fair enough. You've
Yeah,
sold me
alright.
that. You can have it.
Alright.
So
Cool.
they are going to make a what save?
Well, what happens, first of all? What is Hunger of Hadar?
So a gateway to the dark between the stars
So fucking
opens
ridiculous.
up, a region infested with unknown eldritch horrors. A 20-foot radius sphere of blackness and bitter cold appears. It's filled with a cacophony of soft whisper and slurping noise. To 30 feet away, no light, magical or otherwise, can light the area. Creatures fully within the area are blinded. Now, this may not matter because they have blind set, correct?
Yeah, they're
They
immune
are
to the blind.
Immune to the
But-
blind condition.
The area is difficult terrain. A creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6 cold damage, and a creature that ends its turn in the area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw, take 2d6 acid damage. As
Alright.
milky, otherworldly tentacles.
What is the
Again.
radius of this?
It is a
Huge.
20-foot radius.
Okay, so a lot of space.
Yep.
You can get, I think you can get like 5 of these guys in it, and while they're not necessarily like starting their turn in here, I am gonna like give you the they started their
Sure.
turn in here credit because
So they just take that. They start
Yes.
their turn in there. And that is. And then at the end of their turn, they make a dex save for another 2d6.
if they're still in it.
Yes, acid.
Okay, so they are going to all just like run out of this death sphere, I think.
Can they, since it's difficult terrain?
Difficult terrain, and they did already fan out a little bit.
That's a fair point. I think the ones that kind of fanned out a little bit are probably good. I mean, certainly the one that's in the middle, if it's difficult terrain, since they only have 30 feet of movement. I mean, he's stuck in. He's going to try and run out, but he's stuck. And we'll give him. Since I
I'll
didn't
let you
specify-
decide how many of take
I mean,
it.
3 out of 5 sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I was going to actually just roll some.
Ooh.
I was just going to flip a few coins.
Ooh.
And then this is the acid. Oh my god.
Maximum acid. Okay, so you get 3 of them with that, and you get the one that can't. So you get 4 of them in total. So 4 of these guys take 19 damage, and one of them takes 7 as he comes running out of the. As he comes
It's-
running out
it's
of this
dex save.
darkness, like catching his breath. Just, oh god! As he looks back at the void between the stars, some of them are still in there.
It
and-
is a dex save DC 15
Oh, okay. They don't automatically
for the
take it.
acid. Yeah.
Yes.
But the cold they automatically take, but the 2 fails to pass.
Okay. And they take half, or do they take all?
Half.
Okay. So those ones take 6. So 2 of them take 13. One of them takes 17. I'm sorry, one of them takes 19, and one of them takes 7.
And you said 5 of them
And
were
I'm
shooting?
sorry, 3 of them take 13. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, there's a
Two
lot
more.
of intricate
Yep.
damage there. There's
Yeah.
a lot of things happen on their turn to them. And
Is that on their turn, Pete?
no, there's only 3 of them have only acted
jeez.
yet.
Yep.
All right, we got another
There's still
5.
There's still 5 of these guys that haven't gone. A couple of them are going to fire over at you, Mizra. That's a.
Well,
14.
Sotaria ducked behind the tree.
Okay, so you would have probably half cover behind the tree because it's not. You didn't take the hide action; it was just a cover thing. So it's a 16 to hit you, Sotaria, and you have half
Hit
cover.
16 hits. 16 hits.
Would an 18 hit?
Okay. Huh?
You have a plus. You have +2 to your AC from half cover.
Well, and you have
Oh,
another
no.
+2 from haste.
Oh, that's
Oh,
also
shit.
Yeah, you got
Okay,
you got AC
so-
out the yin
Oh,
yang.
I got easy at the wazoo right now. Okay, in that case, no, none of that hits.
Okay, that's 5. There's 3 more of these guys, and I think those 3 are gonna run across the way, and just go over to you, Elysia. They have to, I believe, Jeremy, expand the whole of the distance to the cart is from the way you have it set up. They'd have to dash to get to Elysia, right?
Yeah, they'd have to dash to get over to the cart, but
Okay,
they could
so-
just surround the cart.
Yeah, they go over and surround the cart, and one of them kind of calls out to you, "Don't make any funny moves." And that's all for the cadre's turn.
At the end of the cadre's turn, Señor Saguaro will use a legendary action to yell at his cadre.
What are y'all doing? Get me that deputy! What are you all doing? She's the enemy!
Just yelling at the ones near you, Zewxip.
God, I gotta do everything myself around here!
What is
Now it's your turn, Zewxip.
Okay.
That's it, he's just intimidating the cadre.
Can you make an intimidation check, Jeremy, against the
absolutely.
cadre compared to the?
Yeah. I should probably give him, let me give that a go. He's not like as intimidating as maybe you think. Is there advantage against the cadre?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he's got it. He's a warlord. 22.
Okay. The cadre around you, Zewxip, are starting to kind of like harden up a little bit, and they're starting to be like, maybe we ought to get back into this thing.
And it's your turn, actually.
Oh, okay then. Is there a way I could tell if are they humanoid enough to be affected by humanoid affecting spells?
They are plants, technically. So
Yeah,
I think the answer is actually no.
Okay, so my charm person from Thorns and Petals may not work.
I want to say yes, but I don't think so. They're
Unfortunately, they are plants.
chaotic evil plants.
Aren't they all? All right, that's fine. I'd rather know what the option. I mean, look, if plants could actually get up and do this stuff, we're portraying them exactly correctly for all the stuff that we do to plants. All right, so the 3 thorny boys that were paying attention to me, they turned around and they're looking at their boss.
Yeah, they're paying attention to the boss now.
Oh, watch out! You can't trust those Bartholomew's adventurers, and I'm gonna try and point past them to where an ambush might be awaiting. And as I do, I'm gonna manifest a couple little pebbles floating around me, and where they're looking at towards their boss, and I'm kind of pointing in that direction, like, oh, aye, as if I'm trying to help them here.
Yeah.
What was that?
Is there a group of my non-protectors that are like in a group or closer together?
Yeah, there's a few bundled up. I think, what's the radius on those meteors?
It's a 5-foot radius around the point for each meteor.
A lot of them kind of like scrambled away from each other in that moment, because they were running away from like the hunger of Hadar and such. But over on like the far side, over by Elysia, where they're kind of ganging up around the cart, you can get a couple of them together right there.
With one meteor each,
Yeah,
or
you can get 2 with a single meteor.
okay. Then I as I'm trying to, all right, I'm gonna build into this. I'm only gonna launch. I can launch 2. I'm only gonna launch 1. I'm gonna launch 1 meteor of my 6 to impact them, and as I do so, I am going to spend a spell point so that I gain fire resistance because I'm casting a fire spell.
Okay.
And then they are going to have to make dexterity saving throws against the damage.
All right.
And
They will.
as apparently those dastardly Bartholomew's adventure set a trap for those cactus boys over there, and I'm just
Well, they take that damage. Okay,
Oh.
both crit failed.
One might say they fell for your trap.
Okay, and then I have a note here because we discussed my fire affinity that on Melf's Minute Meteors, because of my fire alignment, on this first attack, I would get my charisma +4.
Okay.
Oh, right. You're talking about for yes. I know what you're saying. It's when you cast a spell. Absolutely.
Yep. All right. So you deal 8 points of fire damage as one of these tiny meteors flies out and explodes on the ground. Elysia, you kind of see it coming from Zewxip across the way, and they're just leaning down, focused at you, not even looking, so they don't even attempt to dodge as it explodes at their feet, even though you can kind of see it and take a step forward.
Help me!
Yeah, and the wagon does like splinter a little bit about one of the wheels, kind of falls over a bit, but Elysia, you're not like trapped under it. And they're both going to take that full 8 points of damage and are looking a little worse for the wear.
Alrighty. Is that the end of your move, Zewxip, or would you like to do anything else?
It was my action to cast, a bonus to throw one of the meteors out, and then you guys gave me a little bit of a freebie for my talking, so I'm good. I'm staying put behind them so that they could be my noble protector.
And I do need you to make me a, because I don't think you rolled for you, I do need you to make me another, I think this time it's just a deception check, as you're trying to convince them that these meteors kind of came from over there and not from you.
Yeah, I was going to say with disadvantage even, but...
Yeah, at this point, they're not necessarily, like, looking at you, but they are just kind of fixated on the orders of the orders of Señor Saguaro and are more fixed on what he's wanting them to do than what you're kind of spitting at him right now.
Maybe if you're lucky, it's the we'll deal with you last kind of feel.
That does seem kind of like the situation here. And that's all for your turn, Zewxip. Where does that leave us?
That leaves us with Elysia. Elysia, you are currently ducked under the wagon. There are some kind of charred cactus people outside. Something just blew up right in front of you. What would you like to do?
From what I'm following with Hunger of Hadar, 4 of them end their turn within the storm.
Yeah.
Hunger of Hadar does have that 20-foot radius.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we did the damage for the Hunger of Hadar.
Excellent. I will yell, "Adventurers, we've been betrayed! Forget the ambush! We need the artillery!" And I'm just gonna cast a fireball in the middle of the Hunger of Hadar, which has the same area, to get all 4 of them that ended their turn in it.
I just want to say something real quick. No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area. So nothing seems to happen. Go on.
Cool. It's a dark heat.
Oh yeah, what level are you?
Regular fireball, Elysia?
Just a standard 3rd level.
All right, go ahead and roll that damage, and those 3 in there will make dexterity saving throws.
4, right?
Yep. Oh God. You throw a tiny bead of flame into the center of this Hunger of Hadar. You hear a, and then you don't hear anything else, and there's a big dark spot in that area still.
I'm sorry, what you hear is soft whispers and slurping noises, but that's
Yes,
it
that's
now.
true.
There's no more.
You hear the sounds of milky tentacles. One of your least satisfying and most effective fireballs, perhaps of all time.
Anything else you'd like to do, Elysia?
With my hasted action, I already checked and I can't unfortunately dodge, but I will stick my head out and with my staff try to poke at the feet of one of these guys that's around my
Make can attack with disadvantage.
Is it disadvantage? Oh, yeah, I am.
I have a good feeling about this one, though.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be pretty.
Unfortunately not. You go and poke at them, but their feet they're still kind of like dancing because of the fire damage that just hit them, and you miss.
That's all.
Chat has noted there probably was a huge kaboom, but nothing else.
Oh yeah, and then that was it.
Excellent.
Alrighty. At the end of your turn, Señor Saguaro will take a second legendary action to make a pot shot at... He's just kind of standing around. He's going to shoot at you, Zewxip. So he's going to use pot shot. He's not behind cover, so it's just a regular attack. And he shoots at you with his crack shot. Alright, so Zewxip, does a 14 hit your armor class?
No.
Alrighty, that's all I've got, and that was legendary action.
Eee! Always save me.
And that brings us. Oh wait, that's a legendary action.
Yeah, let's move this to Sotaria.
Okay, where is this little annoying piece of crap that's stuck on me?
Stuck on you.
Right on your side, stuck right into the hip region, and is just hanging off of you. And as he's stuck into you, he's just kind of.
So that means if I take my dagger and literally stick him, I can do a lot of damage to him, right?
Oh yeah, you can get a good stab at him. You get a good angle on him.
Yep. So I'm taking out my dagger and basically looking at him like, yeah, laugh all you want to, and I stab him.
All right, stab away. I'll say you have an advantage because he's kind of restrained by you in a sense. So 18 will hit. Roll damage on that.
And do I get sneak attack on that, or no one's close by me?
Advantage, you get sneak attack.
Yay! So
that's a 22. All right, he takes 22 points of damage. You just reach down and rip into, and some of the kind of thick green cactus goo kind of comes pouring out as you stab down. But Prickly Pear has more fight in him than that. Still up. And what else you got?
Okay. Since he's not going anywhere, and I need to move the deputy into more cover, can I grab the deputy and move him behind the tree with me?
There's no one to attack opportunity anymore, right? Prickly's on.
Oh yeah, Prickly can't attack.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention is when you hit Prickly, you are going to suffer 6 points of piercing damage.
I can handle that. That's fine. I'm good.
But yeah, you can go over. You're hasted, but you're also half movement, so you're basically at regular movement, which means when you drag the body, you're at half movement, so you can drag them a reasonable distance away. You can move them about 15 feet.
Are you
that's what we're...
away from the rest of the group, or like toward the wagon, or behind the tree?
I want to move him to safety, but I'm afraid leaving him out in the open is not going to be a good thing.
You want to just throw him in some bushes and hope
maybe just throw him and hide him inside some bushes.
You take your action, your hasted action, to get him into a nice spot in the bushes, and they're kind of stuck there now, away from some of these deadly giant fireballs that are flinging around the space.
And I will, because I've already used both my actions, so I'm going to end my turn there.
Well, you have a bonus action. You can offhand attack if you'd like.
Ooh. In that case, I'm stabbing that little bugger again.
I suspected you might. 22 will hit. For another 6.
Pretty good.
Ah!
That's a max damage offhand attack.
Yeah, that's a nice offhand attack.
Now, Pete, did you
Have a
also take
hasted
the
action.
damage again?
Oh, that is true. Thank you for reminding me.
Alright.
Hey, Prickly.
He's a Prickly Pear. You take another 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Tit for tat.
And that's all for
Sotaria, hasted action.
The hasted action was to get the deputy.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
Yep. But Jenny, your move now. What would you like to do?
Fairy Fire is a 20-foot cube. How many of these boys could I get in Fairy Fire?
Are you trying to hit Saguaro as well or not?
What's the max number of creatures I could get?
Now that they're pretty fanned out, you could get the 3 that are huddled by Zewxip or the 3 that are over by the cart with Elysia. Both of those would also get, unless it's pure creatures that you choose, that would also get Zewxip or Elysia.
Yuck. No thanks.
Cast it
the-
above the cart.
Take the dodge
Yeah,
action.
I think they could nail the ones above the cart
Yeah,
without
that's
hitting
a
the
cool
two,
idea.
if you wanted to.
No, I want to dodge.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm going to bonus action drink a greater.
And so it begins. Let me just make a new note on my notepad.
Yeah.
Which is potions. -1 greater.
That puts me 2 below max.
I mean, hey, it's good to be at 2 below max. Especially going into Señor Saguaro's turn. All right.
Remember, I am dodging.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an important one to note. You're still pretty close to Saguaro.
Oh yeah, we're basically dancing.
Yeah, well, it's funny you should say exactly that, because Saguaro begins to spin around incredibly rapidly, and at the same time, he's just kind of like running, and he goes, "All right, I'm gonna get you, varmint!" And he uses his spinning spines, and he's going to slam toward you, Elysia, you, Jenny, and then over toward, you, Zewxip, because you two are the ones there.
So this is an all or nothing.
All or
Huh?
nothing.
Well, I have advantage from taking the dodge action.
This is
You
true.
know, as we said, you're dancing.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Does this hit my quote-unquote protectors as well?
No, it does not affect other cactus. I know it says other creatures. All of his other abilities that say non-cactus creature. I just forgot to change it on that particular one.
Oh man,
That
both
being
succeed,
said,
though.
both of you kind of
Boys, help me!
And your boys are kind of looking down at you like they don't want to hurt you, but boss says what the boss says.
And he's
all right.
moving out of my threat zone.
No, he's not, 'cause he was 10 feet from you, because you had to get 10 feet out to cast the ability, the darkness, when you first cast it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and even, yeah.
But it says creatures within 5 feet of him.
Yeah. Why didn't it say? Yeah, that should not be provoking attacks of opportunities with that effect. That's just another thing. I have it on his. I have his
Sure.
other move with the same text on it. Just busy. Yeah. All right, so that is his go. Prickly.
Prickly Pear.
I will fix the text now.
Sotaria, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Could you roll that for me? My hands are a little full right now.
Yeah,
I can't. Oh, Pete, you got it.
you got it, Jeremy. Oh,
Sure. What's the save?
Constitution.
Uh-oh.
Double
Sotaria
O.
rolled a 16, which is very good.
Sotaria, this is very good for you. You succeed, taking half of this 26 points of necrotic damage and avoiding exhaustion. As
Sheesh.
you take 13 points of necrotic damage, and you suddenly see as Prickly Pear's prickles kind of dig into you, and he goes, gonna leave you dry like the desert. And you feel your skin begin to sallow a bit. And as he absorbs this energy, he just kind of gets a little bit fuller, and then just whoop, kind of pops off of you and lands on the ground. And then he's going to look around. I think, Jenny, you are the closest. And he's going to turn and run. Provoke an opportunity attack from you, Sotaria.
Assuming, would you
is
like
that-
to take it?
Yeah, I'm taking it.
All right. Do you still need us to roll for you, or are you alright?
Your other option, if you don't want to do that, is you can uncanny dodge.
Does uncanny dodge apply to saving throw effects? I thought that was only
I have
damage.
no
I thought it was
clue.
only
But
Yeah.
I don't think it's no. I don't think I can uncanny dodge that. But
I was
I'm
thinking you
going
could save the uncanny dodge for other attack you.
oh, for the other attack, yeah, I can do that. But if he's running away, I want to attack his little butt because he has annoyed me and I'm kind of hurting. And if you guys could roll that for me real quick, I would greatly appreciate it.
No problem. Just your short sword?
Yep.
Okay. A 13, Pete.
13 will just miss, unfortunately.
Yeah, have the Jeremy luck. I apologize.
Wipe down, and then they run across the space, and they're moving at a pretty good pace as they run up towards you, Jenny, and do the same thing. And they just call out, "Incoming!" and they're gonna tackle you. That's an 11. They completely whiff.
Nope.
They just smack into your armor and kind of fall back a little bit as they don't find anything to connect to.
Alrighty.
And that's all for their turn.
And we're on to
the
cadre. Yeah.
The cadre. 4 of the cadre got completely obliterated.
Which means there are now, instead of 8 left, there are 7 left.
Yes. 3 of them that are over by the cart are going to smack at you under the cart. You would have 3/4 cover, but you're prone, so they have advantage, so these are just straight rolls against you.
No, they're attacks with advantage. It's slightly different.
Well, because...
They're comparable, but it's a little different.
I thought that was... Oh, so is it just +5 and not...
Yeah, 3/4 cover is +5. It's relevant because he's got the armor stacking from haste, so he's got very high
so
armor.
it's a 12, a 19, and a 20.
19, 20.
For 11 and then 6 points of piercing damage, respectively, as their cactus hands come in and just kind of batter away at you.
No, I can't even use my... Oh, this is bad.
That's really bad.
That's very bad.
You and Sotaria both find yourself momentarily stunned as the effects of haste suddenly dissipate. That is rough. And there are 3 of these, there are another 4 of these cactus fellows. 3 of them are going to throw shots over at you, Jenny.
I don't suppose Elysia's attuned to the bat
At
has.
disadvantage. But
Oh,
since he
dodge.
misses regardless. Yep.
No bat has.
And at 12 to 10, all of them miss. And then Mizra, one of them is going to run up to Sotaria and just smack at you with advantage.
Ooh.
That's a 23 for 9
Ooh.
damage.
How much?
As
How
you are
much?
currently stunned. 9.
Okay. All right. I'm hurting.
Yeah, Sotaria, I know you're getting into a bad shape. And that's all for the Cactus Cadre. And a rough round for them.
A rough round for them. A great round.
A
for
rough
them.
round for everyone else.
So Zewxip, it's your move. You can see the magical effects of the haste spell sinking in on Elysia, who's tucked under a cart, relatively safe comparatively, but also on Sotaria, who's just kind of out in the open now, just kind of slowed by the effect. What would you like to do?
There were 3 of the cadre by the cart.
Yeah, they're all kind of ganged up now because they're kind of going over to where Elysia is. So you can get all 3 of them.
Okay. Then shouting, "I told y'all the cart's trapped!" And using a bonus action, I'm gonna launch 2 of my little pebbles over so that there's actually 2 sets of saves from 2 explosions.
Okay. That's round 1. It was a 14 save.
No, you need a 15 or better.
Okay, so those 2 save. Go ahead and roll damage on the first one. Another 7 points. The one that had already been hit by your first meteor, it explodes in the space, and one of them ends up going down. but the other 2 are still standing up. But you got a second one coming in.
Oh, do you need damage on those? Did you already roll the saves?
I haven't rolled the saves yet. If you want to roll damage as well, so let me get that now. These shouldn't be at advantage, by the way. Oh wait, that last save shouldn't have saved. It shouldn't have been at advantage. So 2 of them actually took the 7 damage, and that was the other one that also got hit by your last thing. So 2 of them actually exploded in that first one, and then so the second time there's only 1 of them still standing. And
it's still acceptable if I could take it out, so that's fine. Go ahead and roll a save for it.
so it succeeded on its save, unfortunately, but roll damage.
Actually, the half damage might even be enough.
4 damage as it explodes in the space. The 7 damage and the 11 total, not quite enough to finish that one off. There's still 1 over by Elysia, but the cadre is starting to dwindle.
All right. Anything else, Lisa? I think you still have your action, right?
Yeah, I still have my
A whole lot of stuff.
action and a move if I choose. How far away is that last cadre member?
15 feet? Yeah, just about. You're talking about the one by the cart?
Yeah, the last one standing there by the cart.
Yeah, about 15. Pretty close. Maybe even 10.
Okay. I'm still distracting the 3 from combat, at least as far as I know.
Those 3 have re-engaged in combat. They're just not focusing on you. But
They have.
You're
Yeah.
blasting their friends apart.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. So my 3 protectors, they weren't the wagon ones. Where did they go?
They stayed where they were. They're still kind of right up near you, but they were firing at Jenny.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then in that case, is there a way that I could? They're shooting their needles. Were they?
Yeah.
Is there a way I could try and, I don't know, scoot up and work in a thorn whip to try and tag that last one, and then kind of blend back?
You would have to like be very clearly in their visual. If you're gonna do that. You could. I mean, you wouldn't like provoke an opportunity attack because they don't see you as a hostile creature at the moment. But
oh shoot, prickly pear's up there too.
yeah.
All right. And I can't really do anything for Sotaria then for Sotaria because that's just it's not like I can do a medicine check to snap her out.
No, there's a person that's kind of held on to her right now. You could attack that person. There's one hovering over her.
Oh, okay. Well, if my thorny boys aren't really looking at me, I'm gonna like casually turn around and throw a firebolt at the other one, who's attacking Sotaria.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. 26 is absolutely gonna hit. Roll damage on that. Oh my god! And with one swift firebolt, it blasts across the way, and Sotaria, you're kind of stunned and looking up, unable to move as the haste dissipates, and you just watch as this one's about to smack you, and then it explodes in a blouse of flame and falls slain. Nice. That's a nasty firebolt.
All right. That's your turn, Zewxip?
Yep.
Oh wait, Zewxip was stunned.
No, Zewxip was not stunned. Sotaria and Elysia were.
Ah, okay.
So, end of your turn, Zewxip. We're gonna take a crack shot or pot shot, which again he does not get his multiple attacks on a pot shot, but he's gonna make a pot shot at Sotaria. I mean, Sotaria's out in the open and stunned. I think you still are behind the tree.
Well, so Sotaria's probably prone. Do you fall prone when you're stunned? I guess you don't automatically. I picture that in my mind. But...
Well, Sotaria, he does have advantage in the attack, but you still have the +2 AC from being behind the tree. So maybe that'll help.
We'll see.
A stunned creature's incapacitated, can't move, can't speak. Well, can speak falteringly, automatically fails strength and dex throws, and attack rolls have.
Yeah, it doesn't say fall prone, so I assume you don't fall prone. So it's a 17 to hit.
Damn it,
Actually
that's...
miss you with the +2 armor?
No. No, that's right at it.
Ugh. Oh, it's 5 piercing damage as he shoots you with a dart or a needle rather.
Whew.
Not too bad a hit.
Not too bad a hit, but yeah,
Gary.
I'm low.
Elysia, you're stunned.
Drink as your spirit.
Elysia's stunned.
Sotaria, unfortunately, is stunned as well. God, I hate to do this to you, Switch. At the end of Sotaria's turn, we take another legendary action and shoot you with the crack shot.
Still disadvantage. Misses anyway.
It misses you anyway. And now it's your turn, Jenny.
So prickly pears by me.
Yeah. Saguaro's starting to look a little anxious. There's only 4 cadre guys left.
There's 1 at the wagon and 3 by Matty Morris. Okay, well, let's pop the 1 by the wagon. Our
Alright.
first beam. 12?
12 just hits.
I wasn't sure where it
Finishes
is.
them off. A quick Eldritch Blast. They're swinging down towards Elysia, and it takes them out. They fall over, defeated.
And then 1 at the boy who keeps making people. 15.
Against.
Senor.
Oh, that'll hit Señor Saguaro. Wow, the first blood. You hit him.
For 11 plus 3.
All right, you hit him for 14 points. Ugh. Ah, shit. He's looking around at all the chunks of cactus. Is that the end of your turn, Jay?
I should have hexed first. Whatever. End turn.
All right. Saguaro recharges his spinning spines, and he is going to look at. He's adjacent to you right now, Jenny. Which is not, well, actually, he's not adjacent to you. He was adjacent to Zewxip. But he looks at what's going on.
Prickly, kill that deputy.
And he's going to, seemingly like frightened of the whole situation, use his spinning spines again. Zewxip and Jenny both need to roll dexterity saving throws as he zoom spins around in his dance of doom.
Haha!
Oh no! Oh wait, that's a success, Maddie. All right, you're good.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
Ooh, it was a high damage roll too. So he spins past you, Jenny, with that effect. And then he's going to keep going toward the ledge.
I'm out of here. Prickly, you know what to do.
And he's going to jump and begin to skid down the side of the gulch into the
Prickly
ravine.
kind of calls out, "They'll be gone, then the deputy will too. Don't worry, boss."
Deputy first.
All right. Well, I guess Prickly, your move.
Prickly is going to step away, provoking an opportunity attack from you.
Okay.
An 11. Is that all you got,
It
Switch?
will unfortunately miss. And then Prickly is going to run away from you and dash over Sotaria. You see Prickly headed straight for you again, and then they just jump and dive onto the ground, crashing this. Oh wait, that's the wrong move. Crashing this time instead into the deputy. They slam into the deputy, so they're also prone because the deputy's just prone, unconscious on the ground. And you see them starting to do the same thing as before. The deputy is now dying and has a failed death saving throw. Actually, that's 2 failed death saving throws, wouldn't it be?
Because he's unconscious, yeah.
And Prickly Pear is getting ready to do the same thing he did to you, it looks like, where he absorbed all the water from your system, or a lot of it. That's all for Prickly Pear's turn. The cadre.
3 left, Pete.
Yeah,
Right.
only 3 remain, and they kind of are looking down at they're looking down at their boss who's fleeing, and they all gather up and form something like a wall over to help buy Señor Saguaro a little bit more time, and then are going to send out an array of spines. And now that you've been so directly engaging in the fray, 2 of them look down at you, Two of them look down at you, Zewxip, and just, how could you betray us in this way? I thought I was in love, and two of the, oh wait, that's again the wrong move. Not that ability. They're going to do this ability, not nearly as nasty.
Oh, that's still scary.
That's a 23 and then a critical failure. It's 23 to hit you though, Zewxip. It's one of them sends their needles at you for 9 points of piercing. The other one, Jenny. That's a, oh god, it's a crit.
Ooh.
4.
No, wasn't betraying y'all. Just trying to free you from that bully. Come live with me and have a better life. He's fled.
Concentration drops.
Yeah.
Always a rough one.
And one of them kind of looks at you. I thought we'd have houses on the hill, and a dog and a picket fence.
We still can.
That's all for the cadre's turn.
All right, Zewxip, it's your move.
With the presentation, like they're attacking, but so it does seem like they're at least kind of hesitant about it. Like
They're
we
sad.
wish that we.
Make an insight check. You don't doesn't take an action. You just get this for free. They're sad, but there's steely resolve in their eyes. They feel betrayed, as they were very literally betrayed.
I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't want it to have to come to this, but if it does, I promise I'll pick up pieces of you and plant you in your native soil. And the three of them are just sort of gathered together.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna launch. I only
no.
have 3 meteors left because I led with the 1. I'm gonna launch 2 meteors, and I'm gonna try and put them down as quickly as possible.
All right. They're gonna make dexterity saving throws. That's for round 1. One of them succeeds, and then for round 2, the same one. Oh wait, I'm sorry. A different one succeeds. So 3, and then for the second one. 9. Okay. In total, they take. One of them takes 12. One of them takes. One of them takes 10, and one of them takes 7. But that's not enough to finish off any of them, unfortunately, as the meteors explode into space.
Okay, and then for my action, again with juicy tears and my eye-like feature.
I love that description.
Oh no! They're going to make another round of dexterity saving throws, but it was never going to be enough anyway. As half damage from that, as the flames fan outwards, they kind of burn up. 2 of them, and then one of them just kind of like with a tear, I'll never forget you.
And I won't forget you either.
And they are all incinerated. The cactus cadre is no more. Only prickly pear remains.
I will use my movement as the one is like, I'll never forget you. I'd like to like rush over to him and like cradle him as he's dying in this moment, and just plop a little juicy tear on his face. And after he dies, I want to break off a part of him and hold on to it.
It's like all of the body burns up except for his hand held in yours.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
It's romantic in a horrifying kind of way.
And you now have 1 piece
Of a
Longhorn.
cactus. It was Longhorn.
Jenny kind of says to herself, they won't forget you because they won't live long enough to forget anything.
As we move to next initiative, too.
Elysia.
Prickly Pear is hovering over the deputy and looks like they're about to finish him off. And Señor Saguaro's making their escape.
I will run over to the deputy, where I will, as a bonus action, getting deep in this, cast Healing Word at 3rd level on him.
All right, roll that healing. The deputy kind of breathes to life suddenly as you put 11 points of healing into them, but they're still, they're still not in great shape. A big hit here from Prickly might bring them the whole way, but they're out of risk of dying to death saves. That's just a bonus action, though. What else do you have on your turn?
As he comes to, I'm just going to hand him a bottle. Drink, Azure Springs, faithful deputy.
And what do you hand him?
A bottle of water. Sotaria, take care of that. I'll give chase to the cactus, and before him, I will activate my Radiant Soul and fly the remainder of my movement after Señor Saguaro.
Ooh.
Alrighty, so you fly over to the ledge.
I fly over to the ledge.
Alrighty. Yeah, as you make your way over to the ledge, you can see Saguaro has skid most of the way down. He went down pretty quick. And you can see there's actually a pretty defined, slide where his massive form has just broken into the craggy old clods of dirt and dried out sand and debris. Makes almost a slide right down the bottom of the ravine, where you can see there's about a dozen horses, almost like they were gonna make a getaway, and he's just kind of stumbling to his feet as he slid down the side and rushing over toward one of the horses. All right.
Jenny, he's got a horse. He's trying to get away.
All right, we move to the next in the initiative, and if you're done, Elysia.
That's all I got.
All right, Sotaria, what's your move?
I look over at Elysia and I'm basically kind of grumbling, but I'm gonna take out my short sword and hit Prickly.
All right.
He is prone.
Your advantage because he's prone, because the deputy's prone. 24 will hit.
This is about to hurt, I think.
And I got sneak attack too, don't I?
Absolutely.
That's what I thought.
That's why.
Thank you.
21 points of damage. You stab down into Prickly, and just. But he's still holding on, and it's his turn next. Do you have a bonus action? You want a bonus action attack? You also have. Yeah, that's it. You have bonus action. You don't have the haste anymore.
Yeah. And I can't offhand him, can I? Or can I?
Oh, you could. You can.
Oh, I can. Good. In that case,
14 will barely hit.
thank you.
I'm
And
sorry, I forgot to. When you hit him with the attack, you take 4 points of piercing damage from his prickly nature.
okay, fine. I will take that.
And the second one, roll damage on it.
Really?
1 point of piercing damage. Oh, it's just not quite enough to finish him off.
Oh,
And you take 6 points of damage from his prickly nature.
and I'm out. I'm out.
Oh, no! Sotaria goes down, and is it Prickly's turn?
It's actually Jenny.
No,
Jenny
Jenny.
goes after Sotaria.
Yo,
Jenny Prickly's about to absorb himself a deputy.
Or a Sotaria.
And Sotaria's down. Two bad situations.
is Prickly prone?
Prickly's prone.
Oh. That's very, very awkward.
You bet
That
it
means
is.
I have disadvantage on range attacks.
Yep.
That's a big yikes.
You could just cast Hunger of Hadar again. I'm sure that would work out fine.
Yeah, I'll be fast for. Very, very discerning spell. Very good at picking out.
Good at
specific
not killing your
people,
allies. Wait.
Right?
I mean, how beat up does Prickly look, Pete?
Prickly
Oh, it's
is
hard
on
to tell.
is on a knife's edge.
Oh. Well, then I'll walk over to him. And I'll stick a knife in him.
Fair enough. Make an attack with advantage.
16?
That'll hit. Roll damage. and that is enough to finish off Prickly Pear. You take 4 points of prickle as he piercing damages you back as you stab into him, but then Prickly Pear kind of just was about to kind of dry out this husk of a deputy, but as you stab into him, he kind of deflates a little bit and kind of rolls over to the side.
I'll use the rest of my movement to head towards Señor. And I'm going to bonus action chug.
You drink yourself a healing potion.
The regular potion?
God. 2 nat 1s.
Sometimes how it is. In the same kind of way that Elysia saw as you look down the ravine, you see Saguaro is getting on a horse.
So Jenny is kind of like spitting this potion out, and as she says, I asked for the color orange, not the actual fruit orange.
Uh-oh.
All right.
That brings it to Saguaro. Saguaro leaps onto his horse and says,
I'll see you suckers in hell.
and he kind of throws his hat up into the air and begins to take off on his horse down the ravine.
And Elysia, from where you can see your kind of bird's eye view over the ravine, I mean, you can see your ally Sotaria kind of fading a bit in the distance, but also you can see the run of the ravine up ahead. And in the distance, towards the end of it, you see what looks like a massive forest entirely comprised of giant cactuses. You imagine that if he were to reach this point and lose himself in the cactus forest, he would be ungettable. There's no way you could pursue him in there.
We're still in the initiative order, however. What would you all like to do? Zewxip?
Sotaria is down.
Sotaria is down.
I don't see it on my DnDTime character record, but I did buy a potion for the Carnival of Souls.
Gotcha.
I would like to run over and administer that to Sotaria.
And what potion is it?
That's a greater healing if they got it from
Yeah, it was
Soul.
the 100
So it's-
Bartholomew
yes.
buck one.
44 plus 4.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
roll?
I didn't see it on my character.
Yeah, I've not updated that yet. There's a lot.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot
I
to
imagine.
update.
I'm not raking over the coals on that. But I did buy one to kind of round off the hundo.
Absolutely. A very good investment, it seems.
So I will administer that. I will then I want to run back to the cart, or at least with as much speed as I can. And I want to cast. I'll lose my final meteor, but that's fine.
Mhm.
I want to enlarge myself and yell for everyone to get on board.
Oh, you're gonna sled down?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Just like one of my first adventures on the Big Rock Candy Mountain, where we're gonna take this thing down.
All right.
And you gain 16 points of healing back.
Whew. Kind of love those rolls. Very nice. So, Sotaria, you breathe some life. Elysia, what would you like to do? You see him
So
start to...
Zewxip is now a very large gal and has told everyone to get on.
Yeah.
4 Cs now.
Oh man, that's very succulent.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna start this little game of around and around the rosy. I will burn 3 sorcery points and twin that spell haste on Zewxip and my.
Oh, jeez. Okay. It continues.
And then with that, I will use my hasted action and movement to give chase 120 feet, staying at this absurd height above, just straight out towards Señor Saguaro.
All right.
And I will bonus action chug.
Okay. And what are you chugging? A greater?
Just a normal one.
Okay. We move to Sotaria. What's your move? Do you want to jump on the cart with Zewxip?
I'm running and jumping on the cart on Zewxip,
Mm-hmm.
And how far is that good for hunting piece of craft cactus?
Well, he's about 200 feet down the ravine, and then he's about 120 feet along the ravine.
I'm readying my longbow until I get into.
I mean, I think you could actually take a shot, right? It's
Yeah, you could take an
feet.
incredibly
You could
long-range
take
shot.
a disadvantaged shot if you wanted.
Okay, I'm trying it anyways. I'm aiming for the piece of crap cactus.
Go for it.
It's disadvantage because of long range.
Unfortunately, you don't quite get him. It lands somewhere else in the ravine, but you're ready on the cart.
I'm ready on the cart.
And Jenny, what's your move? Hopping on the cart?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on the cart, and they are enlarged,
Mhm.
hastened, and they can fly.
Fair. All right, and so as you all stand on the cart, and Zewxip, are you holding the cart with like your hands?
I guess I'm now 5 Cs, and I am like I'm just big. I'm almost like a dirigible, I guess, sort of like just
So
yeah.
let me paint the scene of how this works. Zewxip, you've got the cart up on the side of the ravine, and you're like, or I mean, does Zewxip's voice get lower when they get bigger?
Oh, honey, you know.
Everyone hops on, and you get ready, and you kick off, and it starts to skid down the side. And as it does, Jenny holds up one hand, and you feel light as a feather as up into the air along the ravine you go, following just behind Elysia, to which you see Saguaro looking back on horseback. What the hell?
I will alight on Zewxip's shoulder as she goes swirling past me with that absurd.
Zewxip, you can see in the cart. Oh, Jesus, run, you stupid horse! All right. Pete, what happened from here? This was your part. You take the reins. I can't do this.
I gotta say, this isn't how I expected this particular issue to go. You see down below as you're just flying. So you're flying with this cart right now, just hovering along. Are you hovering above the ravine currently, or what's your altitude?
I'll be on a somewhat parallel descent down to hover above my sweetie Saguaro here. I might just have a crush on him.
All right, you begin to kind of pursue like a bomber, like a B-52 like bomber, as you're just like coming in at a massive side above him. You can see down below in the ravine, there's a couple of like cactus boats just kind of like stand up from like where they are and look up at you and wonder. And they had like, it looks like they had like traps and like a rope and stuff that they were gonna use to give Saguaro some edge. But they're just kind of
She dropped their stuff, looking up in awe, just
dazed at the day they saw a flower fly. Along the edges of the ravine, however, some of those ones that were pursuing you, that were kind of flanking on the opposite side as you were coming in, begin to take off on horseback and also kind of run alongside of you. And those ones are kind of looking up at you and getting ready to like fire shots at you as you're running along the ravine. But at this speed, what is Saguaro's speed? Are they gaining at this pace? I would think so.
Saguaro can travel 120 feet per round with his...
Okay. So you guys are gaining on Saguaro.
Well, they can fly 120 feet, right?
We can fly 360 if Zewxip uses all their movement to dash down.
So if you're just blasting after with supersonic speed.
Yeah.
In chat, I did the calculation. 41 hour.
How fast?
41 miles.
Zewxip the flying car, Zewxip, bang bang, continues forward, and you're now gaining at a relatively steady pace. How many rounds before they make it up to Saguaro, Jeremy?
Like 2?
Okay, so at the end of this next round, you are with like you're about 240 feet out at the next of the end of the next round, and he's going to move 120 feet. So you're within 240 feet at the end of this round. You're also down.
Here's Saguaro calling out, wait a minute, don't blow the dam! Don't blow it! Waving his hands up towards some of the other cactuses.
And one of them is kind of like, waving like and getting ready to like a big torch in the air and is like pointing down at the thing like, so blow the dam?
No! Don't! You idiot!
Can Saguaro make a
No!
Can Saguaro make a persuasion check to communicate this from a distance?
Yeah, no, he's gonna use his charisma. Shit.
You see one of them kind of like put a thumb up and just drop the torch down, and all of a sudden you hear,
oh shit.
At the end of this round you hear a very large sound. And over on the side, kind of the area where you're looking from your bird's eye view, you can see there was a big dam. They were planning on flooding the river here, and it explodes and water begins to kind of course down and run into the ravine behind Saguaro, now pursuing only him. Their confusion kind of throwing things off here. You guys are descending from above on a cart. The guys on the side are going to fire. The guys from the side are going to fire arrows your way. Needles as they're kind of running along parallel. You'll outstrip them in distance and they'll have to catch up, but this round is the round they can get you. They're just going after you, Zewxip, who's just up in the air. 11 and 10.
Nope.
Yep, both of them miss. The needles just ineffectually, just you see them kind of like fly underneath you. Another one just bounces off of your 5C form. That's all for that.
Perfect form.
Saguaro's move.
No, Saguaro took his turn to dash that round. To try and...
Is this a fresh round?
Yeah, he's gonna dash to not get caught up in the water.
Okay, yeah.
But now we move to the other dudes. So, Zewxip, you are, what, we said 240 feet away? Now, after the dash? What would you like to do?
Well, this was the catch-up round, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean...
During the catch-up round... During the catch-up round, could I have held an agonizing blast?
Yes, but I need you to roll a concentration check.
Sure.
For a health spell like that, because of like the sudden explosion and everything. Yeah, you have an organizing blast. Go ahead and blast it.
When we catch up.
Oh, of course, yeah. Would anyone else have liked to try and hold something? Actually, Elysia's already concentrating on stuff, so Elysia's gonna do that.
There's a longbow shot that Sotaria could have made.
Yes, Sotaria,
yeah.
would you like to take your longbow shot? I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Elysia will metabolize some sorcery points back up, burning a spell slot.
Gotcha. And, all right, in that case, we're back to the actual round here. So that was last round. Zewxip, now what would you like to do? You're 240 feet away from him.
Move and dash. And I don't have a bonus action. So stay on target. Stay on target.
Move 120 feet and then another 120 feet. You're above him. Do you want to be like above him or just behind him? And are you going to like go down a little bit toward his level, or are you going to stay 60 feet up just menacing him?
Attention passengers, this is Zewxip. We're going to be coming in for a rough landing here. Though if you have any special requests, please make them now while you still can.
Do you all want me to be like right next to him, or like do you want me to crush him? Like, is this Back to the Future 2 where he's in the aluminum DeLorean and we're in the big although we're in the flying like steel Ford?
Back to the Future. I vote for Back to the Future.
My held action is gonna go off, I think, first.
Sure. Yeah, well, I mean, this is just I think Maddie's just asking, what do you guys want to do? Oof.
I would like to shoot off a spell before we crush him, but I'm down to crush.
Okay, so you're just gonna crash right into him.
Okay, yep. I'll just drift blim over him and crush him under the wagon.
Not this turn.
Not this turn.
Not this turn.
Okay,
One
then
more turn.
I'll
You just
hover.
kind of get some height and get ready to slam it into him that way.
Yeah, Is he has a 10-foot reach? You want me to stay like 15 feet away?
Sounds good.
I don't want him jumping or doing anything weird like that. So
Yeah, I mean, you can
could,
stay just out of his reach. It's totally
we
fine.
could
Okay,
get some,
that's
we could
fine.
actually get some
Holding pattern this turn
elevation.
then.
We could actually get some elevation so that when you does more.
It depends on how much damage Zewxip wants to take on the fall. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're all good. You guys are out of his reach, but he can still shoot at you. Elysia, what would you like?
Standing on Zewxip's shoulder, Elysia, having burnt down most of her sorcery points here to get this off, perfect, is going to look down, and I almost forgot to count off my sorcery points for buying back this level spell slot.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going for the full 3rd level guiding bolt.
Oh, goodness.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
do you want to, like, save this for Zewxip's crash to give the crash advantage? Or,
I mean, I suppose I could hold off and let everyone else shoot
Well,
and be.
your choice. It would give Sotaria a sneak attack.
Ooh, very fair. Yeah, let's get Sotaria set up with that for this 3rd level. And she will yell out, Saluhane! That is a firebolt, not a. Can we still use.
Just use a guiding bolt. Just roll it in. That's what we did earlier.
I am blind, but there.
Too many bolts. There we go. 19 will hit him, no problem. Your bolt of pale moonlight slams into the back of Señor Saguaro. All right, he looks pretty hurt. I mean, not like bloodied, but you know. Sotaria, he illuminated in gold light. You pull back your bow and release an arrow. You hit him. Go ahead and do that damage.
And hold on. Give me a moment.
There we go. He, as he gets hit repeatedly in the back as he's riding upon the horse. Come on, get riding. He seems pretty uncomfortable about this situation. He will take a pot shot back towards you, Elysia. Missing. Jenny, what's your move?
I'm pow him. Once again.
All
22
right. That'll hit. Yeah. He's a
or
cat.
14.
All right, 14. That'll hit him.
And then
He's
7
now bloodied.
or 17. 17 for 17.
All righty.
And then bonus action, because I know we're about to do a crash land.
Mhm.
There we go.
There you go.
Man, that tastes like purple. Wait.
All right, you drink, put back your potion real quick, and Zewxip. Well, actually, it's his turn. He's going to take a crack shot at Elysia. He takes aim and fires. 14's not going to hit you, is it?
Oh, Jesus, I think that exactly hits me with haste. It does exactly hit.
He strikes you. Very nice. 4 piercing. Roll me that concentration check.
Nah, son.
Second crack shot because he hit you. A 26 for 10 piercing damage. Roll me another concentration check.
Oof, that's
no.
nasty. However, you know, Salune ain't about that.
Oh.
No!
Oh.
God, the exact one roll that could fail me.
You feel the effects of the haste spell once again. Stop. Thankfully, you guys are only about 15 feet up because that would have been a very bad fall. Zewxip, you're no longer hasted. You're stunned, and it was also you, right? Right, Elysia?
Yes, it's me.
So you two are both stunned. He hit you so he can make another crack shot now with advantage because you're stunned.
5 points of falling damage as well.
A 13. Was that
You
hit
don't fall because I'm not the one concentrating on flying.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Does Zewxip not fall because he's stunned?
It doesn't have fall prone, so you don't fall.
Oh!
Yeah. No, I don't
again,
think he does.
this is my misinterpretation of stun.
He's just kind of ambiently flying forward. He shoots you another time because he can keep shooting as long as he keeps hitting. 5 points.
I'm gonna die here because of that.
Are you up?
No, but
Oh, you go down.
no, I still have 15 HP. But if he can keep hitting me until he misses,
Once you fall prone because you're unconscious, he can't hit you because you're on Zewxip. But he'll keep shooting at you. A 21.
oh yeah.
And a 23.
Ooh.
Just shooting you
Vicious.
back. And he'll shoot you one more time.
Now I go down.
And Elysia, as your brilliant guiding bolt, you get shot, 8 times? And collapse on the back of Zewxip. Zewxip, you go skidding through the air. I mean, you're still kind of floating, even though you're stunned. But it'd be your turn. And
I'll float
now
as per stunned.
Yep, Elysia, it's your turn. You are unconscious.
I
and
float
stunned.
as per stunned.
Can you roll me a death saving? This is what he was waiting for.
He was playing the long game.
Oh, that's one failure. Sotaria, it's your move. You ride atop the stunned gigantic Zewxip floating through the air.
Jenny, you got him. I got Elysium.
Oh no, Zewxip's not gigantic anymore because Zewxip is stunned.
Ooh.
Oh no,
Stun
no,
doesn't
it's
break
not
concentration.
stunned. You're right. You're right. It's not stunned. Actually, it's a different status effect for this. So Zewxip is still gigantic. Sotaria, what would you like to do? He goes, ha ha! Still got it. As he's starting to get ahead of you again.
I'm going to. Can I medicine check Elysia while she's on Zewxip?
If you'd like, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, she's just prone next to you.
Alright, then that, and...
She's stable.
Okay, so...
Still have a bonus.
And... How far are we from him again?
Right now, I mean, you're about 15 feet. He hasn't had a chance to just dash on the horse yet, but you can see he's getting ready to make a run for it at the end of this round.
Oh, wait a minute.
What's up, Sotaria?
What's the play?
Damn, never mind, can't do it. In that case, yeah, I can't do it. Alright, I can't shoot him, right? Because I will use my action to do an escape on leaving, right?
If you want to use a medicine check, if you choose not to, you could just shoot him if you want.
No, I already used him. I'd rather have her up than have her
Not
down.
Bring her up. That's just gonna.
Oh, well, stabilizer.
Protect her from dying.
Shoot him. Shoot him.
Fine,
Hear
never mind.
Sotaria's voice calling.
Fine, I'm shooting him.
All right, you want to shoot him or his horse?
His horse.
Jeez. Oh. Yikes.
Forgive me.
Yeah, you hit the horse. Go ahead.
Forgive me, forgive me, old horsey, but you're passenger to an asshole.
Now, I will say, the horse is surprised, so go ahead and give me your sneak attack if you shoot the horse.
Does it kill a horse, Jeremy?
Oh, that, I think that kills the riding horse. Let me see. The riding horse has 13 hit points, so you shoot his horse through the back, and it, and he tumbles head over heels. Just, you can see he's still about 200 feet from the edge of the cactus forest.
Well, he has to run there, though.
Jenny, it's your move.
Alright, agonizing blast that boy twice.
He's prone now, unfortunately, because he fell off the horse.
Okay,
hit
disadvantage.
him.
23, and then second one, 24.
Ooh, nice rolls.
Ooh.
So 14 and 14, 28 total.
Damn.
I don't know what it is, Jeremy, but I think I missed it the last time. Can you let me know when the top of the round is again?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the top of the round. Well, it will be immediately after him.
Okay.
Sorry, I guess we missed a round. As the cadre were catching up, I guess.
Yeah, well, they were behind. It's more the thing that I'm more worried about is the water.
Oh, the water. Yeah, I guess the water is pouring out behind them. And as Zewxip has slowed to a halt, floating in the air, and Saguaro gets up, he turns. I guess I'm just gonna have to finish what I started. He adjusts his big 10-gallon hat. This gulch ain't big enough for the 5 of us. Draw. And he takes his big cactus hands and begins to shoot at you all. Zewxip, you first. He takes a crack shot. What's your armor class to hit?
15.
23. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a 7.
Misses.
Haha. All right. He will take a second crack shot. 24. There we go. 4 piercing damage. Because he hits, he can make a second crack shot. 13 misses. He will then kind of rush over to the side and try to get some cover behind the body of his dead horse. But he's pretty big, so it doesn't provide as much cover as it would for a normal person. All right, we move to the next in the initiative, top of the initiative, Pete, the lake.
The water continues to pour down through the gulch behind you. It's kind of... you can hear the sound of it flowing and kind of catching up. It looks like it may hit the gulch in 2 rounds and flood out this lower area, unless you guys kind of get to higher ground. Even Zewxip, where they're kind of hovering a little bit off of the ground.
And now,
the rest of the cactus cadre are trailing along, but they're a ways away at this point, not moving nearly as quick as Saguaro was.
I'm going to put a note on their cadre or 2 rounds, or another 1 round. Okay. Zewxip, you're no longer stunned. The effects of the haste wearing off. You're still floating in the air, though, and you're still big.
Okay. He's a little ways off.
About 20
I'm
feet
going
ahead.
to land the wagon.
Gotcha.
I'm going to toss out the bags of seeds.
Oh no, this is part of a plan. The long con.
And now I want to take off in 120-foot radius,
Oh
100-foot radius centered on Señor Saguaro is now overgrown with plants binding him. Well, not binding necessarily, but
Ultra
in
difficult
place
terrain.
as we take off again.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. So you land, which is 15 feet of movement. Action, throw stuff everywhere. Or
Oh, well, it's an action to cast a spell. I didn't know if it would still cause vegetation or not. I brought seeds just in case, but
I mean, smart move.
I don't know if I could like spill it out of the back of the wagon on the way down to land.
Pete,
But
what
the
do you think?
intention
What
is to
kind of check
get
would
him
that be?
trapped in a huge circle of vegetation, so he can't escape the water, and he'll just get crushed as we fly.
It's... I think there might have to be a
Sounds like
check.
a 2-round move to me. But
Yeah, there might have to be a check involved in getting like the seeds out and making sure, because it's definitely a little bit of a, it's a little bit close on what plant growth I think is meant to be. Usually,
Well,
it's like
specifically
growth.
into plants within a specific area, and there are none.
Yeah, this
besides
is a pretty
So
dried
you
out
would
spot.
definitely need to do the 2-part move.
Okay.
I guess maybe I could see like an acrobatics check, maybe like flying through the air without dropping everyone, but
I mean, he's hunkered behind a horse. Effectively, we're having a pistol fight. I have a big wooden wagon that we're using to hunker. We could hunker in or behind itself. So if it's more secure, I'd rather than land, and then maybe just like chuck out a couple sacks.
Yeah.
And then do part 2 in the next round.
That sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. If you wanted me to make a check, I will. I mean,
No,
my
I think
flaw is my
that
pride
works.
will lead to my destruction, so I don't mind doing acrobatics.
Your call,
I guess
Jeremy.
where do you want the seeds, right? Do you want them like all over in a 100-foot radius, or do you just want them like around where he is?
I mean, ultimately, the plan is to try and bind him up. You know, he's a big cactus boy. He's got a bunch of spines and whatnot. We're in a gulch and such. So if I could almost like get the sacks of seeds to drop on him so that they're
think you can
caught
do
all
that.
over his spines.
I think you can just do that. Maybe roll like I'll roll a dexterity saving throw for him. What's your spellcasting ability? We'll just say. I know it's not super appropriate, but
4 for charisma.
yeah. Because you're controlling like the fly magic to drop this on him.
Yeah.
So he's got to roll. He rolls an 11.
So
I
is
assume
this a charisma or?
Yeah, I was
or
saying
a
it's just against
dexterity?
your spell save DC.
Oh, spell save DC is 15.
Okay, so I think he gets slammed by the by one of the big bundles of seeds, and it's kind of like caught up all over him.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Nope. I mean, I'm gonna hover in position, so you know, get
Gotcha.
ready for the next round.
All right. So that is that one. Who's next? Oh, he will take a legendary action at the end of that turn to throw up his arm over his horse and take a shot at you, Zewxip. He will take a pot shot at you, which, because he has cover, he makes this with advantage, though it doesn't get the repeating shots. A 22 to hit
It's
for 5 piercing. Shoots you right in the gut. All right. We move to Elysia's turn. Elysia, you're still unconscious.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to roll a death save?
I did before I got the legendary action thing, so I was hoping I can keep the 12.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Totally fine. So, Elysia, you're okay. He will take another legendary action at the end of your turn, Elysia. And he will take another shot at, who can he see? He can see pretty much everyone here at this point, because Zewxip, did you drop everyone off, or are you still holding everyone?
I'm gonna have to let go for a little bit because there is a somatic component to what I want to do.
All right, he will take a shot then with his pot shot. Again, he still got his cover at probably Sotaria. Sotaria is pretty low, if I remember correctly. He has advantage though because he's got cover. A 21, Sotaria.
That hits.
Nabbed you for 9.
That's fine.
All right. Oh, you're still
Are
good.
you gonna
Oh, the
uncanny
potion.
dodge that?
Oh yeah, would you like to uncanny dodge that?
Oh wait, I can uncanny dodge. Yeah, I'm uncanny dodging that. So that leaves me 9. That's
4. Only 4.
okay. So yeah, I'm fine. I'm still good. We're good.
All
We're good.
right. And it's your turn beyond that.
In that case,
All right, you pull out your bow and you fire at him. Unfortunately, with the horse in the way and everything, you hit the horse again.
Oh,
Yeah, this time you hit the horse through the neck. It would have been a
Oh,
great shot
no.
at the horse for a long time. Anything else you'd like to do, Sotaria?
brutal.
I'm going to duck back under the
Into the wagon.
duck back in the wagon.
All right. Jenny, your move.
I am going to invoke the passwords.
Pardon me?
I am invoking the passwords from the Halloween edition for watching the entirety of the live streams. I am sending both DMs, both passwords.
Oh my gosh.
I am getting inspiration from both of you, and I'm using them to get advantage on both of my agonizing blasts, if that is right.
For context, we gave secret code words, one redeemable per everyone if you were here on the end of Halloween, which Switch has invoked by PMing us on Discord for this inspiration.
That's very true. Just gonna say this right now. We didn't say it then because it was late and I was delirious. Those expire by like the end of the year. All right. Those, You can't do those in January.
Yep.
Or good call. But go ahead, Switch, as you take your 2 blasts at this guy.
I know that it says that it is not crit. However, that is a 19, and according to Holy Blades Crusade, I crit on 19s against my cursed target.
Oh, all right. Go ahead and give me the damage.
So let me roll an additional d10. That is 11 plus 3, 13 damage.
Okay.
Second one,
You shoot him in the shoulder.
20 to hit,
That'll hit him.
or 17 damage.
You shoot him in the other shoulder. And he looks like he's on his last legs.
Yeah, and I'm going to move closer towards him, but higher up in the crouch.
And because you can fly. Wait, you can't fly though.
Oh, I can't. But he said that he had to drop us off.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So you're just gonna try and go climb up the side of the ravine.
Yee.
Okay, cool. So you just go and you ditch the wagon entirely and start scrambling up the side of the ravine.
Difficult terrain.
Yeah, it's valid. It's reasonable. It's like not impossible to climb. Being
Because it's only
big
30 feet up,
gulch.
right?
Oh,
No,
30 feet? It's 200.
No, it's way deeper than that.
Yeah, it's a 200-foot deep ravine.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Very
I plan on evacuating us, so you don't have to climb out.
He's just, I think, afraid you're about to go down because it's
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I'm zipping out of there.
Saguaro.
Is this the top of the round before or after Saguaro?
After Saguaro.
Okay.
Saguaro kind of like leans over the horse. I ain't going out here without a fight. And he raises his hand shakily and takes a crack shot at you, Zewxip. Pow. Ugh. Natural 20 for 8 piercing.
God.
You're still up though?
Yep.
Because he hits, he can immediately make an additional attack. He 22. He shoots these needles out of his hands. Another 8 points of piercing, and he's still up.
Still up.
Another shot.
And the hammer.
Oh, 20. He does not have a good to hit on this. Only plus 6. Another 9 piercing.
I have 1 hit point left.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
He fires, and it goes wide.
Last con save.
Top of the initiative. Cadre gonna show up next round, but it might be too late.
The water shows up next round too.
The water pouring down.
The torrents of waves. The cadre seeing the waves ahead in Saguaro's position. The cadre have, at this point, just kind of slowed into a trot, just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen as the wave crashes in.
Zewxip, it's your move. Your 1 hit point move. You conjure forth your plant growth, and those seeds grow up into massive fields of pumpkin and grain and other wonderful plant crop, corn, and he is caught up in them as they interweave all within his spines. He's stuck almost like a man caught in wax. What is this? He looks at you, a vitriol in his eyes. What else would you like to do, Zewxip? That was only an action.
I would like to. I'd like to see if I can have people gathered and we can lift out of here.
The only
And,
person not gathered is your friend Jenny, who's over by the cliff edge, scrambling up the gravel.
So forge your own destiny, I suppose. We got to get out of here, and I have 1 hit point. So.
All right. You grab onto the cart, start flying up.
Yep, I'm gonna look back, give him a wink, and a puckered lip facsimile kiss.
Yep.
You're all washed up, honey. Come on,
Grab the cart,
partners.
you
Let's
fly
ride
up.
out of here.
And I'm gonna float us up away.
Excellent. You fly up. How far? 60 feet? Is it?
Yeah, if I don't have any more enhanced speed. Well, unless the fly speed is 50 or something like that.
I
No,
believe the
fly
fly
speed.
speed is
Fly speed is 60. If you have haste, it's 120.
How
Okay,
high
so
is
then-
the water peak? The wave? Or the...
the wave
Torrent.
is coming in at a level of about the top points of it are coming in at about 90 feet.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a tight one.
Oh.
Zewxip, as you start to
Okay,
take
I'll
off,
move 60 feet.
you see him. I ain't going out alone. He takes a legendary action to aim one hand up toward you and takes a pot shot with advantage because he's behind cover. Zewxip.
Oh, that's a big one.
You're 60 feet up. I don't know if he has covered against you.
Would he
I
hit
don't
the
think
bottom
he
of the
does.
wagon?
I'll say that you have half cover on it, but he's gonna take his shot at you. What's the AC to beat Zewxip?
Half cover's a +2,
Yep.
so it's a 17.
He aims,
Oh,
fires. Oh, deflecting into the side of the cart. No. No. Elysia, can you roll me a death saving throw?
I too will invoke the words once said as soon as I pull them up.
you gonna
Whose word
Because
are you
they
invoking?
can have- You know what? I'm going to go for the 20 on this, so I'll invoke both of them, especially since I now know they have a shelf.
All right.
Can you,
Go ahead
can
and
you
roll
double
again.
inspire?
I think you can roll one more for advantage and see how you do.
Yeah. You can invoke one or the other. Please message us the secret word.
I am bringing up my phone that I took the note on is trash and
Just roll it. I'll give it. Just go. You do it, my dude. I'm with you.
You're there,
All right, you're still dying.
but I'm not dead.
but not dead, at least.
Not yet, because Saguaro takes another pot shot with his other legendary action.
17.
Zewxip. And actually, he calls out Zewxip. You are awfully pretty. Oh no! Zewxip. He hits you right in the back. And you no longer are conscious as you begin to tumble out of the sky. Sotaria, what would you like to do as Zewxip? Oh, well, actually, who has the fly spell? Jenny? So Zewxip is still in the air, actually.
Yep.
Zewxip's just unconscious in the air. Oh no, it says you're fall prone.
Yeah.
Fall whatever you and fall prone. So, Sotaria, all of a sudden you feel the cart beneath you begin to give way. You see Elysia begin to slide down as it tilts toward the
Elysia
torrent
floats.
of water.
Up and out of Zewxip's hand because she still has a fly spade.
That's true. No, but you're unconscious. So technically you fall prone.
It's a magical one. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
So is
that's the
fly.
condition of unconscious.
Yep.
So as Elysia begins to slide down toward the torrent of waves, and Zewxip begins to also fall out of the air, what would you like to do, Sotaria? I'll give you a bullet time if you'd like, or I mean, you're pretty much about to plummet. Actually, you're 60
boy.
feet up. So, well, Elysia hits the ground with a crack, bones shatter, and she passes. Zewxip hits the ground with a thud, taking, well, a death save. And as you're about to hit the ground to take 14 points of bludgeoning damage, what's your move, Sotaria?
Music box.
As you hit the ground and you feel your back cracking and fracturing under the weight of your fall, you reach to your pocket and feel the lever of the Kronos melody box. And with one thrust of your hand, everything unwind. And you find yourself standing atop Zewxip, not unconscious, Elysia not yet dead, and Saguaro aiming up with his last breath toward you. What would you like to do? It's your turn.
How, let's just say, dead is he?
He looks like a swift breeze could. He's got 4 hit points.
Thank you. Longbow. Thank you!
And as you turn back time with the power of your legendary artifact, how do you kill Señor Saguaro?
Now, sweetie, let me tell you something here. I don't like bullies. So, bye-bye.
Open wide with horror as you pull back that bow and strike him directly betwixt his leathery cactus eyes. He collapses in a heap behind his dead horse. The cadre up on the sides of the ravine.
They stop and they look down at the fallen Señor Saguaro, and both of them look down, take their hats, and place them over their chest as they watch the waters kind of pouring down. Sotaria, in that moment, you saw the water about to kind of course and crash into right where you were upon the ravine. But as you kind of pull back in time, you saw it recede backwards into the cavern, but now it's moving back towards you and Zewxip and Elysia in full force. Elysia, I believe you get to remake that death saving throw as time's been gone back.
Absolutely.
You have a success instead of a
Would you
failure.
like to invoke your second advantage and see if you can crit?
I would, in fact.
God bless you, my dude.
Ah,
11
Hopefully
still.
not.
We'll take a pass.
But you're not dead.
One fails a lot better than 3.
As the wave
Jenny,
kind of crashes down.
Jenny needs to scramble, actually.
Yeah,
Jenny-
to be clear, he's dead, correct?
Oh, he did. Yeah, he
He's
got
dead.
shot through the head.
Is he a humanoid?
No, he's a plant.
No, he's a plant. Oh, you were hoping for the specter?
Oh,
All right. Then I get healed. My warlock plus my charisma, so I'm at full health.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm a scramble.
All right, roll me an athletics check to scramble. Alternatively, if you wanted to just kind of like tuck yourself in, you could try and make yourself as safe from the water as you want.
Yeah, that one.
Pete, what do you think he needs to do for that one?
he's gonna have to. I'll consider it a dodge action for the strength saving throw I'll have to make when the water comes.
We'll take it.
Okay. Is there any way that I could make that a dex?
No. It is a straight. There's a lot of water coming to knock you over.
Could I use my grappling backpack?
Your what?
Grappling hook.
To try and like pull yourself down even more. I will just give you a +2 to whatever you roll with your grappling hook as you hook your grappling hook into a rock and brace yourself against the incoming torrent.
So
Well
I have
adjudicated.
advantage and a +2. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
Zewxip.
Uh,
Oh, I assume that was your move, Jenny?
I can't hold the action to drink a potion, correct?
No.
Yikes. All right, let's go.
Zewxip, it's your move. You are conscious again. Seemingly, you never remember being unconscious. But time went backwards. Now you're you. What would you like to do?
Still at 1 hit point.
Still 1 damn hit point.
Okay. Have I taken off from the ground yet? Am I still in the air?
You're 60 feet up, and you can see the
up.
water crashing
Oh,
toward
all right.
you.
So another 60 feet will bring us above the 90-foot water limit, right?
Indeed it will. Up and away.
Zewxip, up and away.
If I up and away, well, yeah, I guess Jenny. I was gonna say Jenny may be able to use the grappling hook to grapple on if I fly over, kind of toss it up and hook it onto the wagon. But
At this
No.
point, Jenny's locked
Yeah.
in.
yeah, Jenny's like tucked in real tight. So
Yeah.
just up and away to the side of the cliff.
Okay.
Right. Sotaria, it's your move. You see that Elysia is dying.
In that case, being that I got rid of the good for nothing, medicine check on Elysia.
Sure, if you want.
Roll a
Is
d20.
that a potion on her hip?
Oh, weird. Yeah,
Nope.
Lydia's got a bunch of potions.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
fine
there's a
then.
potion on Elysia's hip.
Okay. Then in that case, I take out Elysia's potion and make her drink it.
Wait, Sotaria, as you go to reach for
What?
potion, you also see Elysia's little pocketbook there. It seems to be jingling full of platinum.
I don't steal from my friends.
I didn't think to mention it. You see it. That's all.
It's a really cute wallet, too.
You guys are horrible, and I'm trying to be good.
Just have
Fine.
some playful fun.
I take 3 coins. Now.
Elysia, you feel the sweet succor of healing potion, which is, I mean, I don't know how healing potion tastes, but I imagine it's kind of bland.
Or how many flavors them all?
Oh, that's true, actually.
Yeah.
What flavor is it? Sweet victory?
Oh no, I put the note of what the
Moonlight, I
Lune
believe.
healing potions taste like on land. I believe it was Moonlight and Heavy Cream.
Well, as the moonlight and heavy cream passes betwixt your lips, you come to consciousness as you ride Zewxip up into the cliffside. Pete, what happens at the start of the next round?
Oh, Jenny, I need you to make me a strength saving throw with advantage and a +2.
This was so close to just a TPK, everyone's dead boss battle.
Is that with the +2 or before it?
That's before it.
Okay, so you succeed, and you take half of the river's damage as it kind of torrents through, and you, rather than getting, oh my god, it would have exacted you too if you didn't succeed, and you would have been swept
What
away.
are
As you
what
could
are
have
you
pulled...
talking about? I have
wait, I thought that was
56
your-
health.
Oh wait, you're at full health?
Yeah.
What?
Did
I
Jenny
thought that was your...
Yeah.
not been up in the grill
Oh
as
my
much?
God, I thought you've been...
I've been tanking shots and just going, okay, cool.
That's true. It's the classic Galanodel strategy. And
Yeah.
as you kind of dig your, grappling hook into the rock, and the wave crashes over, and you begins to pull, the very rock that you're kind of holding onto begins to pull up and out of the ground. But you dig your heels in and take some of the force off of it, and eventually, after the initial wave pulls through, it like tears apart at your skin, but you remain steadfast and hold steady onto the rock. And eventually the wave kind of comes through, and the water is now slowly kind of draining and filling up into the cavern. You catch your breath, unconnect yourself, and scramble your way up to the top of the cavern, to the top of the gulch. And down far below where Saguaro's body was tied up and left amongst the plants created by Zewxip, Señor Saguaro's body is washed away into the cactus forest beyond.
Y'all don't come back now, you hear?
As Zewxip flies over this picturesque scene of flowing water, you see Elysia laying on top of her head or something, depending on how big she is, drinking out of one of her water bottles, looking towards where she assumes one of Bartholomew's cameras to be. And remember, drink as you're missed. It's a taste for winners.
And as you all take a moment and recover, you see the two remaining of the cactus cadre across the other side begin turning around on their horses' hooves and riding away. The cactus cadre dissembled and no more. The four of you have successfully defeated Señor Saguaro and have been victorious completely in your myth-tiered boss battle. As you take a moment and kind of calm down, you see in the distance moving towards you what appear to be a large group of figures. And as you kind of, do you just kind of stay where you are and wait and kind of catch your breath at the edge of the river? Or are the edge of the now river? Or are you going to kind of turn around and ride out to meet them?
I'm in pain. You know, I'm at 1 HP here. Like, just I'll keep floating towards the others and hail.
Very good. You know, you eventually kind of work your way back down to the ground, I imagine, as the spell is getting near to.
Oh yeah, my yeah, that's true. My enlarge would be wearing off, so that's true. Kind of limping.
And gathering closer, you see the citizens of Green Meadow, who when you left them appeared to be abandoning the town, but they walk towards you now, all of them united here, and the town, now that you're seeing them all together, is fairly populous. There looks to be 200 or 300 people that are walking up closer, and next to that official that sent you off with the town deed, you see Bartholomew walking in steady stride alongside of them. And as he gets closer, he calls out to you, greetings, adventurers.
Zewxip's still flying, by the way.
And, well, this is around the time that Zewxip's fly. Actually, how long does fly last?
10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. Yeah, Zewxip, you still have flight. If you wish to use it.
Flight.
Yes. But Bartholomew kind of walks up and goes, greetings, adventurers. It seems that Señor Saguaro has been washed away. Of course, as always, Elysia, that was a great plug. I was showing the whole world your exploits upon the projections that I have. And kind of as he throws his hands up, you see illusory circles appear in the air, and you see various crowds around the world. In Central City, people gather in the kind of grand square of the city, watching your battle with Señor Saguaro. In the kind of the frozen north of the Candy Kingdoms, you see a small kind of tribe of lizard folk kind of eating lollipops while looking up and watching the battle here. You see the various adventurers of Bartholomew's troop all kind of gathered back at the Last Hope Tavern, also enjoying the show. And as you kind of gather around, your battle against Señor Saguaro was one of the, well, closest I have ever witnessed in my time here. It was heroic. Your actions have saved the life of the community of Green Meadows. And the people there in the assembled town folks are all kind of cheering and kind of walking up to you now. Is that dignitary that you saw before. I know it's not very much, but we, the people of Green Meadows, well, we had all but given up hope. But Bartholomew came and told us that your success was imminent. This was what we were able to put together. I present to each of you the key to the Town Hall of Green Meadows. And he hands each of you, it's not like a very big ceremonial key. This is just kind of like, they're all different too. It looks like this is just the best they could do on short notice, but they wanted to give you something in appreciation. As they hand each of you a key to the city of Green Meadows. And Bartholomew says, and with your victory here today, I believe it is time for a much-earned promotion to the myth tier of adventuring. And with that, he throws his hands up into the air. The assembled crowd begins to cheer and applaud at your kind of success, and he steps over to each of you in turn. First, to you, Jenny. He walks up to you, Jenny, and kind of... Jenny, the Protector. Long have you stood watch over the land of DnDTime, but today you truly lived up to your name. The people here, and he gestures to the community behind him, well, they will be able to continue to live the peaceful life that they wish to live because of your deeds. Will you remain the Protector, Jenny, or have you chosen a new title?
I've decided that I am changing my title.
And what shall it be known as?
The Protector of Bartholomew's Adventurer.
And Bartholomew kind of smiles and leans forward and kind of claps a hand on your shoulder. Sometimes the Protectors need someone to watch them as well. And with that, he kind of turns around to the assembled group, the Protector of Bartholomew's Adventurers! And a grand cheer kind of kicks up from the assembled crowd. And Bartholomew kind of turns around. Along with your promotion to Miss Tier, well, you have a heavy stipend to pay. And he hands you over in a big, giant bag, 1,200 Bartholomew bucks. As well, on a silver platter next to it, you see a scroll. As a Myth-tier adventurer, you also receive a keep of sorts. And as you open your scroll up, you can see a castle has been set aside for you along the Crimson Keep. You can see the walls of it are a brilliant and kind of perfect, pristine white with kind of accents of gold and brilliant kind of golden sheen and light that decorate and augment the various kind of points and flourishes of its design. As you're kind of looking over this scroll and seeing these like moving images, they take you into and show you the interior of the keep. And as you're looking around, there is of course everything a Galanodel needs. You have your armory, you have a beautiful gymnasium and training facility, which contains a number of weights which, rather than specifically the larger weights you're used to at a Kurogans, you can see very well tailored, like brightly colored 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s for more reps over bulk. Additionally, as you're kind of looking around the outside, you hear a bit of a whinny, and it seems to come from your shield, as the face of the unicorn emblazoned on it appears to have animated to a degree. And as you look around your keep, you can see now guarding and kind of patrolling and running around the inside of the interior is an incredibly beautiful and vibrant unicorn, whose kind of movements seem to reflect and mirror now the ones that are on your shield. And Bartholomew kind of speaks up to you. I do hope that you find your accommodations suitable, and if there's any adjustments that you wish to be made, Jenny. Have it been known that, well, you can always let me know. And as you're kind of looking down to the bottom of it, you can see one last feature and touch put into it. Kind of deep within the base of it, there appears to be some type of kind of station set up, some kind of scrying or observation point. It seems to denote the locations of adventurers of Bartholomew's troop around the world, and whether or not they are in this moment in peril. And with that, kind of, as you're looking it over, Bartholomew looks to you. Jenny, thank you. And he kind of bows deeply.
Jenny goes to almost bow and then just runs up and gives Bartholomew.
And Bartholomew kind of like a little bit stunned, and then kind of returns the hug as well as he embraces you. And steps next over to the side towards. Oh wait, I almost forgot. This is important. And he looks back at you, Jenny. Jenny, the protector of Bartholomew's adventures. Have you anything to say to the good people? Everyone in the world is watching.
You will be labeled with all sorts of things that people will say and call you. But what really matters is what is true to you. And if you believe truly that you are a paladin, then no one can tell you otherwise.
And with that, there is another rousing round of cheers and applause as you kind of hear a few people in the audience, Protector! Protector! Bartholomew! And kind of people are all kind of calling out, and you see in the crowd a small child. They seem to have an evil tome in their hands of some kind as they look on with starry eyes, knowing that they could be anything they want to. As now Bartholomew steps over to you, Elysia, and kind of speaks to you. Elysia Silverblood, you have brought the moon's light to the land of DnDTime, and there is little for me to say now that, well, you haven't proven with your actions time and time again. Will you remain the Moonborn, Elysia?
You bet!
And Bartholomew kind of grins widely, and in that case, it is my honor to promote you now to the myth tier of adventuring. And he kind of steps forward and hands you over your silver platter and just, Elysia, the Moonborn! And again, there's another rousing few cheers, and you look over and your scroll, as Bartholomew kind of leans over, he points at it, and there's not too much on yours. And as you unfurl it and open, it seems to just be it seems to just be a starry sky that's being kind of denoted here in this picture. And Bartholomew kind of just winks at you, leans upwards, and points towards the heavens, directing your gaze to follow his finger. And as you kind of trace and follow along the line, you can see, both on the scroll and in your vision, perhaps guided by Bartholomew's magic, your eyes fixate on one very brilliant point of light, a star up there in the sky. And Bartholomew says, that one right there, that one's yours. And he kind of smiles a wide grin and winks kind of one more time. And
I love it.
You-
Thanks, Birdie. And
and you
Elysia
see
will
as
hug him, burying her face in his beard.
all right. That's enough. And he kind of also gives you an embrace there. And he says, Elysia, have you anything to say to the peoples of DnDTime?
You bet! The world's gonna change, so get ready!
And again, another rousing chorus of cheers, both from the assembled crowd and from the people that you see projected in illusions throughout the space. And at this point, as you kind of grin, Bartholomew creates dancing lights around the space as you stare up into the starry sky that contain your keep. You now see that night has fallen and the moon casts its glow upon your victory. As Bartholomew steps now towards you, Zewxip. Zewxip, I'm glad.
Oh, ooh, I'm sorry, it hurts.
Would you like a potion?
I would, but I can't spare any Bartholomew bucks. And I'm gonna kind of reach in and like take a wadded cash. I need you to have these, please.
Wait, what is this? This one's on the house, Zewxip. And he just hands you over the potion, and he looks over the 5,000 Bartholomew bucks that you just kind of slipped into his hand, and he goes, we'll talk about this later. But for now, Zewxip,
Ooh.
you've come into your own in a lot of ways, Zewxip. It has been some time. Now that you have seen the world and toured the lands of DnDTime, have you chosen to take title, or shall you remain Zewxip?
Yes, I have. And in fact, therein is part of the title. From this day forward, Bartholomew, and to everyone else gathered here, I would like my title to be known in the lands of DnDTime simply as I Am.
And Bartholomew kind of grins very widely, and points towards you, and Zewxip, I am, and looks towards you, Zewxip, and you are, and hands you over your tray containing 1,200 Bartholomew bucks and your own keep in the lands of DnDTime, which you see currently moored in one of the ports, one of the gentler and warmer places here along the lands of DnDTime, is a ship glorious, the likes of which you have never quite seen. It's kind of a long and kind of beautiful bow that's kind of stretches out into a masthead of, well, a very powerful looking dragon. As well as kind of brilliant billowing sails that step up a full-sized, full-fledged galleon. And you can see kind of manning the steps, there's already a crew of what look like extremely competent blossomers and bunny folk and friends. Not other Zewxips, but friends. And they're all kind of manning together and preparing the ship to set sail to wherever the new captain might see fit to send it. And as you kind of move down into the dock below, you can see the interior of the ship magically expanded in size, obviously, as the captain's quarters contain everything that you would possibly want in the captain's quarters. Your navigator's supplies, your tools, your anchors, but also what appear to be a beautiful and lush garden, and a window that takes the sunlight right down into a patch of dirt with a gentle spring lapping around it, a perfect place to take an afternoon nap while you're out upon the seven seas.
Elysia, can I get some water? I'm losing a lot through my eye simulations. And all the blood back there, too.
You got it!
Thank you.
And as you stand before the assembled crowd, Bartholomew speaks, "Have you anything to say, Zewxip, to the assembled masses?"
Ever since we first... No. I first stepped foot in the lands of DnDTime. Oh, this water is really good. I'm sorry. I have had such a good time through the pain and through all of the horrors and everything, and I look forward to perhaps hosting a wonderful holiday aboard this keep now that I have been fully embraced by the lands of DnDTime. Welcome's taking to everyone on the sea.
And the people of DnDTime once more cheer. And as you see around and look and span the lands of DnDTime and the great projected images that Bartholomew has created, you can see amongst the crowds small florin hands, familiar, hands much like your own. Zewxips en masse raise up a single hand with a single finger. One, identifying you now as an individual, a single apart from the whole.
Thank you. And one last thing, Bartholomew. And I'm going to
Yes.
produce that little cactus hand from before. I would love to have him serve on my ship. Would you please bring him back?
And Bartholomew kind of grins. This is easily done. And he bows once more deeply towards you. Thank you, Zewxip. And steps, last but not least, towards you, Sotaria.
Who has a very evil grin on her face.
Sotaria,
Roger!
Sotaria Avenia.
Huh? Whoa.
Oh.
Sorry, Sotaria. What was that? I'm here.
You got that scroll I gave you?
It's gotta be around. Yeah, here it is. Yeah.
You mind giving it to Bartholomew?
Sure. Bartholomew, I haven't read what it says. She told me she'd punch me if I did.
All right. I'm terrified. So
I know it.
All right. Well, let's rip off the band-aid. Hand it over.
And, I'm gonna
got it on,
PM it to you, yeah.
Yeah, great.
Oh, I think it's their title.
Uh-huh.
All right. And Bartholomew
Fine.
kind of like, yeah, all right. Kind of leans down. Yeah, okay. And so, Sotaria.
Oh wait, just a second. Everyone, can we just quiet down for a second so we can hear this, record this for all time.
And so Sotaria will be known throughout the realm as the unholy Empress of manipulation and smarter to all cheap, overconfident, hair-brained named Bartholomew. And Bartholomew kind of looks down a little bit and sighs, and then he looks back up towards you and kind of grins a bit. And
So just out of curiosity, which one's more painful? You reading that or what I did last time?
Honestly, they're pretty on par. They're very similar emotions in terms of one of them was very physical. This one kicked me right in the testicles of my soul, I guess you could say.
She pats him on the back. I'm so happy to be of service.
Take your money, and he hands you over your 1,200 Bartholomew bucks that were promised, and he also hands you over your scroll, which as you kind of look over, and he goes, "All right, I know you already had a lot of this, but I made a couple of modifications. I assume you'll be satisfied with them. And since you've taken all of my money at this point," and as you kind of look over, you see the great flying mountain that hovers above Ag of Rowan Gentium, one that you had, Rowan Genium, powered by that radioactive ore. And as you're looking over the mountain, which you've already kind of claimed as your home in many ways, Bartholomew, kind of, you see in the image, it goes in, and you see a brilliant throne room that's all kind of set up with a gorgeous kind of golden throne fit for such a master thief. And as you move through, you also see a huge vault. And as you kind of pass through it within this image, you can see all of the various treasures and items that you have picked up and taken and kind of collected amongst your adventures, framed, organized, neatened, and accounted for. Not one of them taken, certainly, by the greedy wizard. As you look through the interior of your hoard in this image within this mountain. And as it traverses even farther in still, you can see what appears to be a control room. And Bartholomew speaks up, "Yes, we installed devices into it. You should be able to, move it around a bit now. So, may your mountain leave you with, may your mountain leave you wherever it may." And currently, you can see your quickling servant is kind of zipping around and kind of moving at the controls and kind of readying them. At their side, there appears to be a very large fan that they have to fan you when you need so, and a big bowl of delicious golden grapes in their hand for whenever you may return and sit upon your throne.
Aw, Bartholomew, I didn't know you cared. I still don't like you, but thank you.
I hope it serves you well. And Sotaria, we may have our differences, but thank you for your service to our adventuring troop. And Bartholomew bows once more, very deeply.
She bows back also very deeply. I might not like you, but I do respect you.
And Sotaria, have you anything to say to the good people of DnDTime? All are watching.
To all my lovely people of DnDTime, I love you all. Now, let's all have a party on Bartholomew's Bartholomew's dime. He's buying.
This is fine, I can do this. And with a snap of his fingers, Bartholomew conjures what appears to be a grand festival. All of a sudden, you can see unseen servants are creating food and drink. Musicians continue to strike up music and play, and the assembled people of Green Meadows begin to dance and jig and make merry. And Bartholomew says, "And with that, the four of you are now promoted to the myth tier of adventurers. Your deeds from this moment forward will shape the very foundations and futures of the land of DnDTime. May you go boldly, and may you find success in all of your endeavors. Congratulations, heroes." And with one final round of applause, the four of you are now truly myth tier's adventurers. And Bartholomew now looks into the four of you, and I think I'm getting a little bit tired, so if you don't want to join on the festivities, I'll be heading back to the shop. You're welcome to join me if you wish. And he steps forward and into a kind of quick portal that he conjures, and before you can see the shop. If any of you wish to shop, you may now do so, or you may simply go off into the night and enjoy your moment of revelry and victory.
Jenny heads into the portal.
Very well. Anyone else wish to shop?
I'm good. I'm gonna shop too.
Roger says,
Elysia
I'll
hits
just keep this portal open in case y'all want to come.
All right. In that case, it seems like, is it everyone?
Four of you
Is
head right
wandering
into the shop.
Yeah, and as you walk in, Bartholomew goes, "If you need a magic item, you know where to stop. Just head on down. It's your only choice to Bartholomew's shop. I still haven't fixed that one of these days. Honestly, I've gotten into the habit of just singing it so often that I feel like I don't even want to fix it anymore. But welcome. Greetings, adventurers. You have all some fresh money, I can see. To begin with, Zewxip, I believe we have a trade to go over."
Yes. I wanted to draw on your expertise to make something very special for me. But I believe that is by appointment, I suppose.
It is. We'll have to discuss it further, but you can see Bartholomew pulls out of his robes his workplace goggles and sets them on the counter. "I'll get to it right away. You'll hear from me shortly by letter, and we will arrange for you to have whatever it is that you're looking to have. I can't wait to hear your ideas." And the workshop door appears once more in Bartholomew's shop, as another Bartholomew's choice has now been ordered. So, who else has something they wish to purchase on this day? I know that cleans you out, Zewxip.
I have a few things that I need to take care of.
Very good.
First of all, Jenny walks over to a painting that's hanging in the shop
Very well.
and is going to add her name to the.
Excellent.
It is now signed Switch, Jenny, and
Wisteria.
some famous singer. Yeah.
And you go over and sign this sexy painting of Bartholomew in a sideways laying down pose, looking as seductive as Bartholomew will ever look.
And I would like to make a bag.
Go ahead and roll me a D500, and I wish you only the best of luck.
D500?
I'm sorry, D1000.
Oh my god.
Ooh, 895. That's that myth tier battle victory luck. All right. Let us take a look and see what's in the bag. What's in the bag for the
Magic handcuffs.
You reach into the bag and your hand passes over. First would appear to be some handcuffs, but you say, "No, please no," and don't take them. Your hand then passes over. All right, let's get into it. All right, your hand passes over then what appears to be a wand of some kind, which it interests you to a degree, but as you're kind of grabbing onto it, it's maybe a little bit colder than you would like, and you end up letting that one go. And instead, you grab what appears to be cloth of some kind. As you pull it out, you're expecting to pull out maybe a shirt or some kind of piece of clothing, but instead, it's a carpet. You've pulled out of the bag what appears to be, Bartholomew goes, "Well, I don't know if I need to explain it to you. This is a personal flying carpet. It is a one-person flying carpet. It has a speed of 80 feet. And
Are you sure that it's not a rug of smother?
hold on a second, try it out."
Jenny's gonna get on.
And all of a sudden the carpet animates and no, I'm just joking. It appears to be a flying carpet. You've gotten an 80 flying speed with 200-pound carrying capacity flying carpet. Bartholomew goes, that's a good one. No two ways about it. That one's always going to be really good. And please do enjoy.
Yep.
It's basically the one from Aladdin. It's just a one-person, really fast one. Anything
so
else?
I can have a cute prince on it.
You could have.
Yeah, it'll just go half speed.
That's fine.
It'll be a 40-foot flying carpet with your cute prince.
A brand new land. Anything else for you to purchase?
A place to play our silly games.
Roger,
When you're over here.
Roger, you are forbidden.
I'm sorry, was there something else at this time?
Yes. I'd like to purchase another charm.
And which one are you looking for?
I was actually... Does Charm of Lesser Magic to a...
What was that, Jenny?
Charm of Lesser Magic.
Mm-hmm.
What about it?
Does it apply to AC? Could I make my shield +1?
No, it does not.
No, it does not increase armor class. If you wanted to make your shield do an additional +1 attack and damage, you could.
If you wanted to smack people with your shield, technically, yes.
And we can't put charms on Frank, correct?
You can't put charms on magic items, no.
Yikes.
You want to hold off for now and think about it for a moment?
Yeah.
All right. In that case, moves over next towards you. Elysia. Elysia, do you have something you wish to purchase?
You bet. I want a bag full of that one really pretty red elemental, what you call it, charm.
You got it. Go ahead and roll me that D1000. 310. You reach into the bag, and your hand passes over first. This is a funny one. Your hand passes over first a bottle of some kind, and then another bottle, but a different shape. It seems to be in the shape of a heart, which you're like, I'm not messing with any love potions. You go instead for something heavy. It appears to be. It appears to be a heavy steel frying pan as you pull it out. And Bartholomew said, yes, this is a Calcifer's cursed frying pan. This was a pan that was wielded by a warrior during his battle with the demon Calcifer, but the demon got away and left his mark upon the pan as he did so. It's a simple weapon that deals 1d6 bludgeoning damage plus 1d6 fire damage. And additionally, it's not very good for cooking. You're proficient with this weapon, even if you are... everyone is proficient with this weapon. And that was an item that is Calcifer's Cursed Frying Pan, and that was an item that was actually created by you, Mizra, so thank you very much for the submission.
It finally is pulled!
I have no idea how... It must have been in there for a long time. And you've gained a Cursed Frying Pan. Very good, Elysia. Is there anything else I can get for you?
That'll do it. Who wants omelets?
Not an attunement item either, just as a note.
Not attunement.
Pretty good.
Cursed, though, keep in mind. So it will burn anything you make. Yes, Sotaria, did you have something that you wish to purchase?
I need 2 greater healing potions
Done and done. Flavor preference?
Bartholomew's tears.
Oh man. Well, we do them in groups. Wait, did you say superior?
No, greater.
We do those in threes.
Oh, yes. So 1 3-pack you want, right?
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever considered this, Sotaria, but may I make a recommendation?
Hmm.
You've never upgraded your armor, and it's only 100 Bartholomew bucks.
Actually, I was going to wait on that, but because actually, no, you know what? I'm gonna wait. Let's upgrade the armor, and I'll wait on the charm, and I want a bag pull.
This can be done. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to make sure you knew it was.
Well,
a choice.
maybe if you get the bag pull first, just in case you get magic armor.
That's true.
Sure.
Go ahead and roll me that D1000. And I wish you only the best of luck, as I always wish to all.
And I did that wrong. Don't I always?
Well, it's roll 20.
Yeah.
That's less user fault, more roll 20 fault. That is the one you want to do, but without the period at the front.
Yep. Doom, 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 doom. Your hands reaching around, sloshing about, going through various item after item. Finding the perfect thing.
Yeah, maybe if I can actually roll. Because something is not doing right.
/R space D1000?
Oh, there we go. Nope, I guess can't see. That's the problem. Okay,
yeah,
there.
Roll 20 doesn't play nice sometimes.
There you go. All right, 176. As you reach in the bag, oh no, it's not bad. You're still in the
You're still in the good part of the bag.
Yep. All right. This is such a fitting one, Mizra. This is such a fitting one for you. As you reach into the bag, your hand passes over. First, your hand passes over first what appears to be. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong tier. Your hand passes over first what appears to be a cloth. It's a very fuzzy cloth, but you kind of shy away from that one, and then you then pass over what appears to be some type of you pass over what then appears to be some type of ring of some kind. It's small and it's small, and as you're putting on it, it has some kind of letter embedded into the top of it, and then a sword, a blade, something that feels appropriate for someone of your skill set. As you pull it out, it appears to be a scimitar. It has kind of a gleaming steel blade. It's very slender in its design. It's got ivory in its pommel, and it's got kind of gold in its hilt, and it's got a bunch of sapphires and rubies around it. It's very elaborate. And Bartholomew speaks up. This is a well put together weapon, and when you hit a creature with it, the creature takes an additional point of fire damage as you strike them, and you also feel a soft, warm breeze blow across you, scented of exotic spices of a desert bazaar. It is Desert Wind. It is also a +1 scimitar, so it is a light weapon that you could do in an offhand as well. So it's a +1 scimitar that does an extra +1 of fire damage on top of the regular +1.
Ooh, me likey. Me likey a lot.
What's really nice about it is that it's added to your collection of powerful magic items that for some reason don't ever require attunement. You have 5 of them.
I don't know why this keeps happening. And this was an item created by Mr. Plunderloot, so thank you, Plunder, for the submission of Desert Wind. And
a fitting item, actually, for this adventure.
Is there anything else that anyone would like to purchase? Are you going to go with the armor, Sotaria?
Yes, I am upgrading the armor.
Very good.
Excellent. That just always feels good.
Yeah, just an extra +1 on that AC. And so, speak now or forever hold your peace. I believe that's going to bring us to the end of our show.
I believe
Jeremy,
so.
To the outro screen.
First, thank you all for playing.
Yes,
that was
indeed.
an absolute blast.
Has a really fun boss battle. You guys there were so many points in there where I was like, oh no, they're all gonna die. Oh no, they're destroying him. Oh no, they're all gonna die. It was like, it was a roller coaster of a battle.
So thank you all very much for playing with us. It was it was our pleasure to DM for you guys tonight. But now Pete and I will.
Thank you very much for your time and running an awesome game.
I agree.
All right. Now, Jeremy, bring us away.
Plans?
Take us away to the promised land.
All right, we'll catch you all in a little bit.
See you.
All right, we are in the land of VIP, the land of outro screens, and all of that good shenanigans. I got another thank you to say. Of course, we had some awesome players tonight. A round of applause
thank
for
you
them.
guys so much. Really fun night. This is an
All
absolute
around.
blast.
Perfect.
Every game was excellent.
But I got another thank you to give, and that is to you, our beloved chat. Thank you so much for hanging out, for being with us this evening, for taking your time to say, hey, you know what? I want to hang out with these dorks and watch and play Dungeons and Dragons. And you know what? We appreciate that a lot. That means a lot to us. So
it does.
You.
Thank you so much from the bottom of our Dungeon Master hearts. We love you and we really appreciate, cannot be understated how much we appreciate you guys spending your time here, and just enjoying D&D and loving this game with us.
Yeah.